I lace her too. Pop my jewels twice like deja vu. If they ever met in the mall, it's over, y'all. Just the way y'all do. The way you what else? Spin the track, man.
Oh, you when you girls better pray. First moment. Go ahead. Go ahead.
What's up, y'all? Y'all just tuned into another episode of the Goodfellas podcast, episode 108. This is Jigga.
This is Ron.
Below.
DJ One Up.
Just a regular guy.
Just a regular one. And today we are sitting here with the lovely Shaniqua Thee Therapist.
Hey, y'all. With two E's.
So with
yes.
2 E's. Big Nequa, not the little one.
Welcome to the table.
Never the little one.
Ow.
But you're really tiny, though.
I am.
But-
I'm 5'1".
Why are you out here like that?
That's what's up. People don't know. Anything under 4'10", you're considered a dwarf.
Yes, this is true. That's how I'm 5'1".
Wait, that ass?
Deadass, look
Yes.
it up.
Medically, yeah.
Yeah, you are considered a dwarf.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
So it's a lot of dwarfs out here.
Broham.
Yeah, I
Learn something new every day.
I just learned something new. But yeah, I remember we was telling y'all we had a little surprise for y'all that we was gonna really have a therapist up here.
A licensed
Lo and behold,
therapist.
A
Yes.
licensed therapist. This ain't no
play.
This ain't no IG therapy.
2 degrees in.
This ain't none of that green grass on the wall.
Yeah, none of that.
With the affirmations.
This ain't none of that evil eye shit.
Not at all.
Now, you know, they slap the grass on the wall and it makes them
Everybody
official.
official.
What's
I'm
that?
doing that.
That's for any profession. Any profession, they just slap on the back of the wall.
Yeah.
Always.
Now
That's
they
a
a
common
dentist.
thing.
Now-
I mean, it's aesthetically pleasing though.
It
It is.
It is.
I will give that. Like,
like
I feel
seeing
like,
grass on the wall.
oh, they got
They be like, oh, that's peaceful. It calms you down a bit.
they know what they're
You want
doing.
to get veneers from these people.
Alright, son.
veneers.
Alright, son.
Yeah, y'all seen where the veneers went wrong?
Yeah,
You seen where the veneers went wrong though, right?
I seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We ain't gonna dive into that. That's a different
That's
thing.
a whole nother topic
Smiles
for a
by
whole nother
Blanco.
day.
Nigga said, smiles by low.
Wait, below. Blanco, can you hear yourself?
Yeah, I can't hear you.
Oh shit.
Oh, it's not him.
Y'all keep talking about what we feel about.
Well, that's unfortunate.
If you
That's
want
unfortunate.
though,
Keep talking.
you can just leave.
Yeah.
He's a facial expression now.
Nigga upset.
Nigga say y'all gonna kick me off the table?
But yeah, what's up though? Talk to us. Let me know.
Y'all brought me here. I was told last minute what to talk about. Some topics.
Yo,
Oh, it's not plugged
that
in.
nigga got a Bluetooth mic.
My niggas violate you.
Marv, give me.
That
Oh,
nigga,
ain't no cord on
that
it.
nigga,
Did you dirty? That's crazy.
Marv just threw that shit on here. They'll figure it out.
He said a Bluetooth
Apologies
mic.
to our guest that she has to deal.
Technical difficulty. That's crazy. I'm not even prepared.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Tap tap.
I definitely.
Mic check. Mic check.
There
Mic
we
check.
go.
There we go. We can pod now.
That's pod.
We can pod now.
This is below.
No, we're not.
Sorry, not Lord.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
What's going on? How y'all feeling?
I'm straight.
I'm good.
He cut his own mic.
I'm good.
Yeah, Shaniqua, I'm glad you was able to pull up.
Absolutely. Of course.
Hold on.
Are
Let's
we
do the
excited?
regular.
What?
How was your week?
Man, it was cool. Oh no, my week was shitty.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
You gotta-
Yeah, so you got
let's
the
be real.
therapist here, so y'all gotta be honest. We're gonna start with transparency.
Okay, my week was shitty. I was just telling B-Lo, I was told niggas in the chat too, my week was shitty. I cheated on my barber.
Oh,
Lord.
I cheated on my barber.
Yo, yeah, can I get
Shouts out to my barber.
I need a drop for that because that is very crazy.
I did bad. I cheated on my barber. I was too rushed. You know, I was rushing to get a cut for an event.
That's unacceptable.
And that shit just threw my whole equilibrium off for the week.
That's unacceptable.
Yeah,
I don't know.
you was that pressed to get a cut.
Yeah, I needed to cut
Wow.
back.
Ladies, if y'all don't know, you don't do that. You don't cheat on your barber. I don't know about y'all when it comes to hair, but
I mean, I be seeing like girls be going on multiple haircuts.
Yeah, I think it's a little different with us.
That's what I'm saying.
The
I
loyalty
get it
ain't
for
that hard
with
with
the hair
that.
because at the end of the day, if I want braids, she do it with the braids.
Everybody don't do the same
Yeah,
thing,
she got it with the bob, but
Right.
my barber is my barber. Like I ain't
it.
switching up the cut. You know what I'm saying? Like so, it feel crazy to me to sit in another man's chair.
Yeah.
Feel me? I already figured out when to move my hand from the armrest.
You know,
Important
y'all can
information.
see.
Yeah,
you
Y'all
get what I'm
can see.
saying?
You gotta know when to look away. It's like a game. You got.
They got me.
Those are clippers or you happy to see?
Yeah, that was a good episode. But yeah, go ahead, man.
Yeah, bro. So that shit fucked my whole week up. My week has just been fucked. I've been dealing with bullshit after bullshit after bullshit. And you know, I finally came to means that was the reason why.
Oh, it all started because you cheated on your
All
mom.
started
Cheated.
because you know, sometimes you got to pinpoint.
Let's talk
gotta
about
pinpoint.
it.
That's
You have
quite
to go back.
superstitious.
Where it started.
Where
Where it started.
at.
Yep.
So
Where
I
the
found
domino
it.
effect
So I'm
was
sitting
triggered.
there, looking in the mirror. I'm like, I hate this cut.
So you cheated and you hated your cut
Oh my God,
afterwards.
I hated the cut because you know how like sometimes, sometimes girls wear certain like hairstyles with certain clothing,
Correct.
right? So the cut ain't fit my fit
Your
that
fit,
day. So
that be the worst.
I'm sitting in the mirror at home that day. I'm just like, oh, fuck it, I still gotta go. Then day after day, some bullshit that's been
Piling
playing out.
out.
That's what's up, man.
I'm back to my barber this week. I booked my appointment. That was my fault.
Oh, Lord.
I knew it was.
You know I'm bugging. I said,
Sorry,
that's what's
bro.
up.
Yeah, I was like, wait,
That's what's
what?
up. That's what's up.
Yeah, he probably watching right now. He probably gonna watch on.
Nigga said, "Word, James. That's where you was last week."
You gotta come to the chair next time with some flowers or something.
Chill out.
He gonna look at the cut like I ain't do this.
What
I
happened?
didn't leave it lined up like this.
They really do.
You know what? Screw y'all. To our guests, how was your week?
My week was pretty good. It was actually a good week this week. It was better than last week, so y'all caught me in a good week. It was a
That's
great
what I like to
week.
hear.
Yeah, it was a
Vibes.
good week.
Wait, ain't your birthday coming up?
Yes, June 15th. I'll be 31.
What's that, a Gemini?
Yes, respectfully.
Oh.
Wow. Wow.
We gonna
So it got
listen.
started.
Hold, I was gonna.
Don't do that to me. Don't, and he just told me his birthday is June 12th. Don't do that to me, though.
I was gonna say we're gonna let you rock because his birthday.
Yeah, I know.
That's
he
why you
told
getting
me.
it.
But otherwise,
Wow.
Yeah.
But I'm a female Gemini. Female Geminis and men Gemini, they're different.
Expensive paying.
Listen.
EV.
Let's get off this. 'Cause I don't know what's happening. We're not doing the slander.
How was your week, Blanco? Birthday
No.
coming up.
yeah, you any plans?
Not excited, brother. Not
Really?
excited.
Why?
Nah.
You see how vibrant she is for her
Right,
birthday?
I'm
We in vibration.
excited. Yeah.
Throwing off my chakras on the episode.
Listen,
Like,
I told
listen,
you.
for a week.
And now
week.
it's
It started
now
with
they're
Sunday.
flowing,
We started
and
over,
you just
right.
Sit down. We're flowing. I ain't flowing right now.
got you.
Oh, you
got
not
you.
Said the
fluid.
rent is due.
Just
Don't
pay
ever look
mine
at me and
today.
say I'm not fluid.
Got you.
Oh
Got you.
man, that's another conversation in itself again. All right.
No,
Not fluid.
you allowed
yeah.
that though.
Yeah.
You allowed that, so there's nothing wrong with that. I feel you. We're gonna shoot for a better
Allow
week.
me the space to
Yeah.
feel my
To feel your
Hold that thought,
emotions.
though.
There you
I'm gonna
go.
double back on that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
yeah,
double back on that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Well, sit in your sadness,
We
Marco.
as people have to allow a person to have bad times. That's what people have to understand, and you just got to get through it. So I'm with you. When you ready,
When I'm ready.
I'm here.
Appreciate
They only talking like this because you here.
It's pain
Shaniqua.
in the
That's what I said. I'm like, y'all starting off good. Y'all sure y'all need me here?
What up?
It's
What's
a
up,
real
man?
supportive bunch.
What up? How was your week, bro?
Regular week, just work. I have no gigs last week. I was not booked at all. But
So you
after
just-
this, it's clipped until like July.
Booked and busy.
That's what I'm talking about.
Booked and busy.
I need to rest, honestly.
So,
Gotcha.
Milo, what about you?
About
In
it.
your first week of accountability, how was it?
Yo, it's a lot
First
of.
week ever.
I mean, nah, I ain't gonna be honest with you. It was my first week ever, like being on some shit where everything I do, I look at it first from me. Everything
There
that
we go.
happened, I looked at it first
Look
from
at
me.
yourself first.
So
Yep.
yeah, nah, my accountability week was actually like
Ladies and gentlemen,
it's very deep, son. Learn, you know what conversation we was having like
So
that
we can
shit.
get his accountability points up. Okay.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, but other than that,
EXP.
tired. I just started another job, so I do 10 to
getting to the
6,
money.
then I do 9 to 6. So I be
Wait, what?
busy. Yeah, I do 10 overnight to 6 in the morning. Then I do 9 in the morning to
So
6 at night.
collectively, you literally get what 7 hours of sleep in a day?
No, because from 6:30 to 7, I'm driving to the gym. Then from the gym, I get
you
out of
still go
there
to-
like
And
around.
dedicated.
I get out of the gym like around 8 something. Then I walk my dog, shower, then start the other job. So collectively through one day, I probably get like 2 hours, 3 hours of sleep.
Niggas
Free
wild.
promo, ladies. Look at it. My man that, Time never
That's
stops for
dedication.
him. Time never stops for him, ladies.
When Saturday come, I just sleep it in. Feel me? I catch up on the sleep. Sunday, I do the pod. I told niggas I'm taking the summer off, so I'm on some like unless it's our event or like somebody that I actually
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I see you tuned in. You're not a DJ.
Yeah,
no more.
I'm not a DJ because I can't. Yeah, I
handle
gotta
it?
get right. I'm following y'all lead.
But yeah,
in the headphones.
I'm gonna be 100. Me and B-Lo, we had like our own little therapy session driving here. You know how like randomly.
Yeah, talk about it because I've never really gotten much from a men's perspective.
Randomly,
Yeah, let's
like,
talk about it.
Randomly, niggas vent to each other on like random ass occasions.
I believe it.
Random ass shit. Like,
Yeah, I don't even know how it came up.
I'm trying to figure out how the conversation started.
But
The conversation started after we was on the phone with y'all. Literally, right after we hung up with y'all. So then I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, damn. I know me, I'm 212 with everybody. I'll be having event sessions with everybody in the crew or whatever. But that one, and I think like one that me and you had like a few weeks ago, that shit just threw me off. I'm like, yo, man, this nigga said so much to each other in 4 minutes. And it's
Only
like
4 minutes?
I'm telling 4 minutes.
Wow.
4 minutes to get it off my chest.
yeah,
And I feel like, you know, sometimes people make communication harder than what it is. You know, some people don't receive everything like how others might tell it and shit like that, you know, sometimes. But like that, I say something, he agreed, and he nod like, damn, I've been in the same situation.
where we was in same shit. That's twinning them. Like how much the conversation was going, like it was like twinning them. But I ain't.
I look over, this nigga took the Henny shot like, dang.
Oh, that means the conversation got real.
I had to
Oh,
tell
the
him.
conversation got real.
Yeah, it got real.
It got real.
I had to tell him. I'm like, yo, a lot of this shit that I be going through, I don't discuss with nobody else. So I be living in my head,
That ain't
going
good.
through it.
That
Feel
ain't
me?
good.
So me and him like, yeah, like nigga, I be doing the same. I'm like, yo. Then as I'm saying it, I'm realizing like as I'm expressing this shit right now, it's weight off. Like it's feeling different because now I'm not the only one. Because I'm telling other people like, yo, as you got your people to talk to and I'm not as comfortable like that. So I'm sitting inside. I'll be home just
All in your head.
and here just.
Now you see how niggas is. I forgot what episode that was, and I asked everybody if they had people that they can go to.
Your support system.
And you talking about you keeping it to yourself.
We have a problem.
What did I
mean,
say
you
on
got-
that
what was
episode?
the answer?
Because I don't remember answering that.
I feel like
On the
niggas.
episode?
So what I
Alright,
said?
look, wait. I feel like we could have people to go to, but sometimes you just don't want to go like,
Go to them,
I'm
yeah.
telling y'all, I keep telling y'all go to the lady.
I know,
Oh,
but
nah.
sometimes you don't
That-
want to go to the lady.
That came
Who's
up
the lady?
to my like,
Oh, therapist. But y'all do go there, male therapist.
I know.
Yeah, true.
It's like a,
So y'all tell me y'all feel more comfortable with a female therapist versus a male therapist?
me.
I do.
I would possibly.
Can I? Why? No,
As
why?
long as they're black.
Have you ever noticed like, just like how I just was saying, like I don't be saying too much to my niggas, but for some reason like it's always easier. Like I don't know what it is. I can't really tell you why.
Right. It's just a comfortability thing with the female.
With female.
And I
Okay.
feel like y'all are really tell us about us. Like y'all see things like.
From different perspectives,
From a
different
different-
lens.
yeah.
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 So I feel like.
I don't. Maybe that's what it is too. Cause I done had more females tell me about myself and break me down and me
Right.
Yeah.
open up to them more than
Okay.
I have with men. So that's possibly why. And Daddy wasn't there.
That's going deeper. That's when we start talking about trauma and all
traumas
that.
and shit
You get what I'm saying?
Absences.
I feel like sometimes it is needed to have those conversations with your boys. You feel
Absolutely.
me? Like how I was saying, like even though sometimes niggas may not express themselves all the time, we do have like a lot of deep talks. It may not be like in a group setting, but
Right.
it'll probably be one-on-one.
Right.
And you'll have like a breakdown with somebody. This is what I've been going through for the past 6 months.
Okay.
It's not like every issue.
Happened you running talking to somebody.
talk,
Right. Yeah.
So we was talking. I'm like, yeah, you know, like I use a podcast. Like, you know, I'm here and I express. So I'm telling him, I'm like, bro, I could be talking about a situation I'm dealing with. I could say it was months ago. Nigga, I'm dealing with that shit right now. Like this, I'm living in this shit right now.
Right.
Like,
Right.
so like me talking about it, that's me speaking, getting this shit off my chest type shit.
But there's no expiration date on that. I feel like when it comes to being expressive, it's you don't have to. Even if you talk about it 2-3 months later, it doesn't matter. Everybody deals with emotions differently, and I think as people we have this thing where it's like if I'm going through it now I gotta talk about it. Sometimes people gotta sit in on stuff, especially men, and I've noticed that I'm on year 5 of being a therapist, and I noticed that with a lot of male clientele, like we process stuff for a longer period of time and we go further into it. So we 6 months in talking about something that happened 8 months ago or 2 years ago, you know what I mean? And it's not wrong or right, and I think people have this, you know, this negative connotation of, well, if you're going through something you gotta deal with it now and don't sit on it. And nah, that's not really. When you ready, just like she said, when I'm ready. When you're ready, that's when you express it. And it's not a wrong or right. It's really no handbook to emotions and grief and expressing yourself and dealing with trauma just when you're ready. Because essentially, if you ain't ready, you ain't going to deal with it the right way.
Facts. That is a fact.
That's a fact because
it's a fact.
You really not.
If you're really not ready,
not.
You know how like some people don't like being in pain because they don't like dealing with the growth.
Yes, the uncomfortable feelings.
Like yes,
where you got to feel your emotions, right?
Like, growth is really uncomfortable because you're getting out of a position, you know. Okay, basically, like remember, like you going through puberty. Mm-hmm. You're fucking around having aches and shit because you wake up, your body's growing. You feel me? So it's like some.
I don't know that.
My fault. Don't worry.
To be honest with you, I didn't experience that.
Oh damn.
Or maybe I just didn't know.
Maybe you didn't know. You ain't put 2 and 2 together. You probably. Oh.
Yeah, you probably put 2 and 2 together.
Probably.
Yeah, I don't know whenever.
Let's make it this. That's a Raven moment. But.
And we did it at the same time, like.
But yeah, so it's like some people don't like going through the pain of like growth and shit like that. Mm-hmm. So it's like, they know they have an issue that they have to handle. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna put it off, put that shit on the back burner.
Yep.
I'm gonna try to suppress my feelings real quick.
That's exactly what
I'm
suppressing
gonna try to, I'm gonna put that shit over there. I'm gonna live through it. Nah, nigga, that shit gonna double back.
Double back even harder.
And when it double back, that's all I'm about to say. When it double back, then what? Now you caught up in that cycle.
Yep.
And just like how I was saying, how I figured out why my week has been shitty. Sometimes you gotta pinpoint.
Yep. Take
what
the time
it is.
to figure out that initial
So now
trigger.
I understand why some people go to therapists.
Yep.
Because they don't know where some of their traumas stem from.
Right.
So they don't know.
It took you cheating on your barber to figure that out?
Exactly,
Listen,
man.
it ain't no wrong or right. Just say it's no handbook. He figured it out though on his own. Look.
Nah, I've been doing that. I just pieced it together. Nice little segue.
Yeah, sure.
Fluidity.
Right. Fluidity.
Fluidity.
Oh my gosh, I can't with the
This is crazy.
Right.
Y'all got that little hand thing on too? I can't. Oh my
That is
gosh.
crazy.
Go on.
So,
But wait. First, y'all, let's introduce our guest. So, Shaniqua,
Yes.
what made you want to become a therapist?
Yeah, where this came from?
Yeah, like,
Were you always like, asking people about their
Absolutely
their
not.
traumas?
It's crazy because growing up, I was actually the opposite. I was the one who used to like sit in the corner and be quiet and watch everybody go through everything. Like I think what it was too, growing up, I just experienced a lot of trauma and I wanted a certain level of support and never had it. Whether it was from friends, family, peers, and I also saw, friends going through different things. So it was like, you know what, I want to be that level of support for someone that they didn't have. Whether it's a child, somebody my age, or older person. Because again, I'm a therapist and I have clients who are old enough to be, my parents or grandparents. So it's not an age thing when it comes to also being a therapist. But that's really what it is. I just want to be a support. So I started off with counseling kids, working in summer camps, and then once I got to college, I was like, okay, I enjoy doing this. How can I make this a career? Learned about it, did my research, and then bada boom, bada bang. 2 degrees later.
Oh, that's
I love that.
You see the alley?
All the Steph Curry with it. But yes.
That was cute.
Yes, 2 degrees
tough. You
later.
see that? Twitter note.
You see it?
Twitter note.
Listen, telling you.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, but 2 degrees later, I'm here. I took my state test. I'm a licensed therapist in New Jersey.
Yo,
so.
no funny shit. I did not know you was a therapist, and I do it about 3 years, right? And I'm
Really?
like,
But I'm not gonna lie to you. I low key for a while I kept it a secret. Only because whether it comes to friends, family, even like dating, I don't tell people what I do because I feel like people prejudge me. And then when I say certain things, I've even had guys say, "Don't talk to me like I'm your client," and it's like, but I'm not. But
Thank you
maybe
for
I
that segment, by the
am.
way.
Yeah, I know. But it's like maybe I am, but I don't mean to. So. Honestly, yeah, it's only recently when I made my therapy page because everybody's like, yo, you want to do it? You want to go to private practice? Start with it. Because, you know, social media is a segue to everything.
Yeah.
And I'm on it on Instagram scrolling 5-6 times a day. So why not do something, you know, on social media that's beneficial to me and my career? So,
So let me ask you this. Do you feel like sometimes you be...
Do I know how to take my therapy hat off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the beginning, no, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't, and it disrupted a lot of relationships, yes. But now I'm a lot better. Am I perfect? No, I'm still learning, but I have to learn how to separate it because there's times where even with just friends, I'm like asking questions and looking at me like we're not in a session. I'm like, you're right, we're not. My bad. Like
Now you're sitting there reading them.
Yeah, now I'm sitting there
I
reading them and overthinking unnecessarily, and everything doesn't need to be like, you know, an overthought. Sometimes you just gotta chill. Yeah. So and it could be overbearing. Sometimes people is like, Dag, I don't want to talk to her because every time I talk to her, she got to go deep, and you know what it is. I have to learn how to separate it.
Yeah, like that shit fucked me up. I'm like, I was just well.
But that's a good thing, though.
I'm like, yo, we was just in
and
a
we
section
always
together.
been outside together.
I'm like,
Yo, what?
okay.
You remember when y'all told me?
I'm like, so I would
You
tell
like,
you.
you a real therapist?
So, Blanca
I want
said
to hear.
that.
Yes, I want to hear this story. I'm listening.
So I'm like, wait, Shaniqua Therapist? I'm like, what the fuck? Then I think like recently I started seeing you like your therapy page pop up, and I'm like, she's really a therapist.
Yes.
2 degrees,
It's
right?
funny because everybody says that. No one believes it.
So
Proud of you, though.
Thank you. I appreciate
definitely.
that.
Can we get some
That's what's up.
Absolutely.
So you wanted to do the things
Oh,
that you wanted to see.
yes. Shouts out to her support system.
My support system, my
Yes,
friend
we love it.
here. Love you, girl.
Yes.
Proud.
Yeah, so Bilo asked the chat today, like, we got a guest on, right? We having a therapist on. So Bilo drops the page, and Bilo goes, wait.
You said B-Lo drops the page.
I mean, Blanco drops the page.
Right.
Well, he was like, wait, she was just sexual with us. I'm like, word. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
That's real, though.
listen,
That's
I'm a
solid.
therapist. Don't get him. I'm professional. I'm good at what I do. I love
Clearly.
what I do.
You've been doing this for 5
Right, I'm
years.
a five, but I live my
Still
life.
get to enjoy yourself.
Yeah,
Nah,
I enjoy
it wasn't-
and I like what I like. I like to be outside.
No,
so.
it wasn't like that. It just was like, wow, I was with that. I was
Right.
with her. I was with a therapist.
Right, I was in such a
That's
therapist.
dope.
I was popping bottles with a therapist.
Yeah.
That's different.
She's probably wondering why I was drinking my pants.
Imagine you was assessing us in the section.
Oh my God, I would never do that. I would be overload.
Shaniqua like, wow, that's your 10th shot of Henny
Right.
tonight.
I'm gonna
noticed he
I'm
took
gonna
that
count
shit
him
Oh my
out
God,
of
you're
this.
doing something.
Here's
Yeah.
my card.
He did
He's
that while Let It Burn
suppressing
came on.
Do you have
He
insurance?
felt that bar too much.
He's probably going through it. But nah, that's what's up though. Nah, I figured like honestly, to be honest with you, I'm like, I don't know if I would be able to turn it off if I was like that in that situation, because it's like, and I give you your props if you like you said you in the beginning.
Yeah,
It was
hard.
rough,
Yeah,
but now,
absolutely. Yeah.
but honestly, I don't know if I could ever do it because it's like you still want to look at it from that point of view because you
yeah.
want to like.
That's what you're trained to do.
That's what
Yeah,
train-
you get what I'm
yeah.
saying. So it's like a person might say something to you or do certain things, and it's like you don't want to do that
But
because,
this-
but it's like
I feel like
That's
especially
mad
like,
tough. Now go ahead.
especially like with dating.
that's what I'm saying. Like
that-
I wouldn't say
yeah.
my friends, but I feel like with dating, if I notice you're doing certain things, it's like nah, I gotta
Let's get
cross
to the
my
root of
legs.
why you acted like this.
Yeah.
I mean, but think of it though. Think of it this though. Think if you're the problem. So say she's the problem. She's creating the stress, and she's reading on top of that, reading you through the
That's
stress,
a lot.
and acting like I ain't do shit.
But no, that's manipulation.
OD.
That's a form
OD,
of
bro.
But I'm saying
manipulation.
if she's reading the room, she's gonna realize she's the problem.
No.
Right. But I mean,
no?
The reason why I'm saying no is because true.
you think
That's
that
what I'm
so you
saying.
say I won't take accountability. That's what it sounds like. If
but I'm
I'm
saying-
hearing correctly.
But I'm saying though,
He's saying that you might be blind to what you're doing.
yes, that's what I'm saying. Thank you, One Up for the.
No, because I don't
I'm saying
think
if
so.
Enjoy
you're
it, 'cause
that
I've never
open
agreed
to
with you
you're reading them, why can't you?
Yeah, I read, but that's what I meant in the beginning. Like,
I feel like you can't have that.
So-
I feel like you can't be in this position unless you read yourself too.
Of course, absolutely.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
So I'm
saying.
saying you thinking of like, yeah, you know, it sounds like she's
I think you just want to put this on me.
It's like it
That's what I
sounds
think
like
it
she's.
is.
Yeah, he's just trying to blame you.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's what it
Third
is.
person. Like
Yeah.
sounds like she's, you know, she's causing you like some stress. I feel like, you know, you guys need to like sit down and talk it out. And he like, but I can't talk to her. You know, try. And he talking about you.
I mean, but that's what I said in the beginning when I first started as a therapist. It was a lot. So, like therapists, we also go through we have supervision with our clinical supervisors, and that's something that they work on us with. We're not having it overflow into our personal lives.
Okay.
And on top of that, I also have my own personal therapist.
Oh, so it's bigger therapy.
It's bigger. I mean, at the end of the day, you gotta think about it. I'm listening to other people's problems, putting out other fires for other people, and I have a lot of complex cases. So I have to be able to, regulate my own emotions, and I don't do that by myself. So I need help. So the
I was
therapist
always
has a therapist.
curious about that.
Yeah, we have therapists.
You
And
got to, cause
you have to.
What you gonna do? Look in the mirror?
Right. I mean,
Just talk. You know what?
Having Issa moments.
listen. I mean, it's
Start
happened.
rapping to yourself in the mirror? That's crazy.
I mean, it
Talking about
happens.
Issa moments.
But nah, that's what's up.
Yeah.
I like that.
You have to have a therapist because at the end of the day, it's all about regulating emotions. And when you come into this field, it's a lot of emotions you deal with. And, we call that transference and countertransference. With me feeling my client's emotions, them feeling my emotions. Because there's been times where I've had a bad breakup and I'm crying. And it's 4:17 and I'm crying snot out my nose. And at 4:30, I got a session. And I got to go in the bathroom and suck it up and go have a session with a client. And it's happened. So we're trained, while we're trained to help and,
That's actually
process, it's
That's tough.
trust me, it's very rough.
That's expensive.
It's very expensive. So, a lot of times you got to suppress your own, emotions to help someone else, but in a healthy way, not where I'm suppressing it for like 3 hours to get through seeing clients, and then when I'm done, I'm calling my friend and you're like, girl, let me tell you.
I could go on and off.
Yes, and that's what it is too. Yes, I ain't gonna lie. Yes, that's true.
Gotcha, nigga.
Yes, turning it on and off is definitely a thing, and you have to be able to self-regulate. So I think one thing too I've learned as a therapist, again, which goes into other relationships, is self-regulating in a healthy way and knowing when to turn stuff on and knowing when not to be overbearing or knowing when to be like, yo, you gotta chill. In a respectful way, but still be like, no, Shaniqua, you need to chill. And again, I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect at all in no way, shape, or form. I have my moments, but growth, just like you said, a little bit of growth, pain.
Expensive.
Listen,
This is very
it
expensive.
whip you into shape.
Cause damn, I'm thinking about that 428.
Yes, listen, it
You walk in the
happens.
therapy session, she
Yeah.
like, I can't
Right, I ain't eating 2 days.
I can't eat her, bro. Fuck this shit.
Yes.
I'm flipping the table. Fuck this shit.
Right, but you gotta keep it all composed because you got people that's essentially dependent on you.
So I got a question. You got like the little lounge chair. You know how like
the shrink chair?
The shrink chair.
Well, yes.
same
Well, prior to COVID, we were in person. Obviously, I still clients, but since COVID happened, New Jersey has a law where we have telehealth. Yeah. So right now, I see all my clients through Zoom video. But prior to, yes, I had a couch.
I feel like that fuck up the vibes, bro.
It does.
I know I'm saying, but I feel like the connection
and
when I walk in the room.
Correct.
When you walk in the room, you
agree.
can feel somebody's energy. Mm-hmm. So like, you could walk in the room and be like, okay. I know what type of vibrations you want right now. I know how to assess you.
Yep.
Dude.
I'm over here lagging. Shit freezing.
Oh shit. Fire fucking up.
Right, and it happened. Wi-Fi down.
I told y'all the story when I was in the car. My car.
Wait, what happened?
I was on the video call with my therapist, and I was in my car, and Bees had came in my whip. And she seen me like hop back
dodging.
Yeah.
She like, you good?
She thought she was trying to end it all.
I thought you was getting shot at.
Oh my God! Oh, so you have a therapist?
Yeah.
I love it. How long you been in therapy?
Shit,
Ain't it been like a year and change?
It's probably about to go on 2 years.
It's going on 2
years.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Yeah, that's dope.
I feel like, when do you know when to stop?
Stop what?
Your therapist usually knows. Because if you leave it up to a client, it will never stop. Because after a while, when you build a good rapport with your therapist, they just love you and you want to talk every week. And it could be over a TV show that they cried about. It could be over them losing a parent. But after a while, as therapists, we're trained, so you gotta let go. Gotta spread your wings and go. So it's usually the therapist that decide that.
You gotta kick the braid out the nest. Bro.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They paying me.
I mean, but now that's unethical, and that's a whole other thing. We're trained with all that. That's a whole other handbook. Yes. Seeing clients when you can't do nothing for them. Yeah, that's now we're going to you lose your license for that.
I'm telling you, it's strength.
Is that another reason
That's
why
a lot of
people,
strength y'all got.
Like change therapists, I guess? Because after a certain point, like there's one.
Some people do that. Yeah, they could, or they'll go to different providers to get a therapist just to stick with it. Yeah,
y'all really strong as shit, yo.
Yeah.
You gotta give you your props. You really strong as shit, because I'll probably be in the session like, you ain't going through shit. What I'm going through right now, talking about a TV show.
Right.
I just was crying before this.
Right, like I just had a whole heartbreak. Listen.
I feel like sometimes like my problem is like sometimes I try to like
Compare
and I see both sides of the fence.
That's
like
the
I put
issue.
I put myself in both shoes. I'd be like, okay, I did this. But damn, I remember when you did that. Like,
Oh, well, no, yeah, comparison, that's a bad thing, comparing
so
situations.
I could be like, oh, I understand why you did that.
But I did it because of this,
Nigga
because
trying
you
to get a
did
free
that.
session.
I'm not
Gotcha,
gonna hold on. You
Nigga said, what you think about this?
Yeah, right.
Tell me.
Just wait something on you real
And I
fast.
was about to go into them too, and I'm like,
Hypothetically.
I had to take a step back.
Where do I pinpoint my issue?
Just asking for a friend.
I mean, honestly, a
have
lot
to
of
call
it
me out,
goes
though.
back to childhood trauma, though. Like, a lot of our we all been through different things, but your childhood is what shapes you into the adult that you are. You know, of
Facts.
course, with other, like, external things as we go through and we get older, but essentially, your childhood is what makes you to become the adult that you are. So if something simple as, like, you know, when you were younger and you went through emotions, if you were comforted, it shows how you deal with emotions as an adult versus isolation, reaching out to people, feeling comfortable. Like, it's all from childhood. And again, that's another session when y'all ready. I send y'all links so y'all can book me.
She said we gotta pay for it.
Next Sunday.
Expensive
We want
pay.
you on again.
Expensive.
See why
I want you on again next Sunday. They just not gonna be here.
But seriously though, yeah, it's all childhood. And I mean, it's also a lot of work you have to do outside of your session. A lot of people think that therapy is just, oh, I talk to somebody for an hour a week and then that's it, I'm great. Like, no. Everything y'all talk about, we're just here to guide you guys. We're here to give you like, okay, here's the map, you follow it. But it's up to the
I feel like you
client.
guys are like a flashlight.
All right.
Yes, there you go.
You lead the horse to the water,
Yeah.
and it's up to them if they want to drink.
You guys are like
Correct.
a flashlight. Like,
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm gonna shine this light.
And let's see if you can follow it.
If you can find your
Find your way.
problem.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's exactly
That's a
what
good
therapy
one.
is.
That's a good metaphor. Look
at that.
about that one.
Fluidity.
All right.
There you go.
It's too late. That is part of the episode. You're
All right, y'all gonna have me at hometown something.
Put to the left and
I
right.
didn't like to say that.
That's where it really came from.
It definitely did.
Hey, yo.
But yeah, so what do you think is like some like misconceptions that people have like with therapy and therapists?
Yeah, because
and shit
niggas
like
be out here talking about something got to be wrong with you. to go to
That's gonna be
therapy
my
and
first
shit.
one. People think like, you know, because historically therapy is dedicated.
A
You
lot
know,
of
for
them niggas
people,
probably just book you just to link you.
and that's happened. But I'm not gonna lie, that has happened.
That's
I've had
it.
some. You
I
know,
got so much going on.
listen, that has happened.
Said,
Right.
yeah, I on the ground.
Right.
You know, my mom and I, you know, we,
No, that's happened. But one thing I can say, like, I've done a lot of work to get where I am, and I'm not gonna let anybody mess that up for me. So I would never do anything unethical.
It's virtue not working.
Yeah, it's not. Like,
Can
I
we
would.
do this at Cheesecake?
Cheesecake now?
Can we do this at the factory? Please.
He just said, I ain't gonna hold you. I
do
do
this
like
lava
Cheesecake
rolls
Factory,
and
though.
crying, chill,
I ain't gonna
chill.
repeat that. But no, I think what it is a lot of misconceptions about therapy is one, you know, it's a negative connotation with people think like, oh, something wrong with you. And it's like, no, therapy is just a guide to help you process emotions that you don't know how to process on your own. That's all that it is. Because that's all we're trained to do is to help you figure things out.
Ladies and gentlemen,
There you go. She
Like
just
that's
summed
all,
it up.
yeah, that's all
Yeah.
therapy is, and we're just trained, and we go to college and we learn, okay, how to help guide people without messing our own psyche up. That's all that therapy is. So you know, but again, it depends on the community you talk about, because you know, in a black household, you don't, what goes on in the house stays in the house. You don't talk about it. You don't go to other people.
Yeah,
If you're a
Cindy.
man, you can't cry. You shouldn't be soft. Like, it's all these other, you know, stereotypes that come with it. And then also another thing is, you know, with age, a lot of people think, oh, a therapist has to be a old white woman. Like, no. It's how
I
much
ain't never
friends
think
I have that are therapists.
I ain't never did that.
Susie Murdoch.
Susie Murdoch,
I don't deal with it, Karen.
Yeah, that's one. I'm like, I ain't going to no white person.
Bethany Jenkins.
Not happening.
I mean, but it's y'all are one of very few. But I've had clients that I've had that look like us that are black, and they said, no, I prefer the white woman, because in their mind,
That's why.
we're not
Qualified?
good enough. We're not qualified. Like, I shouldn't be a therapist.
I feel like white person can't tell me nothing about myself.
Word, you can't. You don't even.
And that
you,
is true.
You don't know where I come from
yeah.
to sit here and evaluate me.
Right, that too. You don't.
What's wrong with you, Karen?
I can't.
Yeah,
Oh
the white man's rhetoric don't fit the black man's plight. You know what I mean?
And that's very true, but that's why as a client
the
when
colorful
you
language there,
right,
brother.
that was yeah. Wait, I'm gonna have to use that
The
one.
white man's rhetoric does not fit the black man's plight.
Ooh, I
That's like
that.
magenta.
Rhetoric.
Magenta?
Nigga googled. Wow.
More like a cyan. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Nah, they even colored.
my God.
I'm glad everybody colored. Like,
Colors. Listen, the
My
palette
bad.
is
I had to dig in
there.
the bag.
but yeah, I could definitely see that though.
Yeah, but I think though that goes to when even choosing a therapist, like there's really no guidelines. I tell people choose a therapist that you get good vibes from, because I'm all about vibes. And I've had clients where they're like, you know what, we don't mesh, and I'm like, you're right, we don't mesh. Let me pass you off to
See you
somebody
later.
where you mesh with.
Bye.
And there's nothing wrong with that. And honestly, people think like, oh, well, I'm gonna find a therapist, and the first person I find, I'm gonna like them. No, sometimes you gotta go through therapists. I went through 4. And my 4th therapist, she is it. I went through 4 therapists.
Don't let Allie's on pain crazy.
Throw Allie's on pain.
Yeah,
What's wrong with you?
That's basically what
I
it
mean,
is. though.
yeah.
That's basically
All right,
what
so
it is.
for you to get to the
She
next,
can't
they
do it.
they recommend or you
give them
just
all.
went looking?
It depends. Well, me as a therapist, I went looking because I knew better. But as a client, you could ask like, "Hey, I want to be transferred to somebody else," and you know, it's happened to me. It's because we're taught that because you're not gonna mesh. It's just like
Yeah.
if you meet somebody, you don't mesh with
Yeah.
their vibe, you don't mesh with them. And I can't build a rapport with you and get you to trust me if you don't even like my vibe.
Facts.
I've been told I can be too straightforward. I've been told I'm too stern in how I talk, but that's my therapy style. And that's another way of finding a therapist is you got to look at every therapist. We're all trained on a general scale, but we all have therapy styles. So I'm more of I'm gonna confront you. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna
I'ma throw
find
it
a
in your face.
solution, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw it in your face and we're gonna move past it. Some people like to soak and talk for weeks. We're not doing that because we need to get you past
I'm
these
trying to get
points.
this over with.
Yeah, we not like that.
No,
but, you know, we gotta
I
work
get what you're
through
saying.
it.
Like,
Yeah.
there's no reason on
You
waiting
paid
a
for 30
week for me
minutes.
to.
Be done in 20 years. You fucked up. Go tell your mother you love her.
You're done. You're done.
You're done.
Nah, I get that.
That's
Though. I'm not going.
Damn, right.
If you know what you know already at that moment, why you gonna wait a week later to be like, well, this is where it's stemming from? Tell me right now. I feel
Well,
like
see, it's not that easy too because then it comes to the level of accountability of are you willing to go there?
Progress is a process.
Progress is a process, and I can't force you to go there. You got to go there when you're ready. And I can only tell when you're ready by how the conversation
I
goes.
really feel like people really be knowing what the issue is. Like they really know what it is.
They just don't want to talk
They don't
about
want
it.
to talk to
They
sometimes.
just don't
yeah.
want to like.
sometimes you know,
Confront it.
and
They don't
sometimes
wanna
you gotta hear
own
it
it,
out
like-
loud.
Because it comes with pain that people don't want to feel. Anytime you go through anything, it's a pain that you don't want to feel. And you got to understand the human body is a beautiful thing. Your human body knows when something is there and you don't want to feel it. Because we operate off of toxins. So everything's like, just like when you're crying, it's all toxins being released. All toxins, so your body's like, nah, I won't feel that. Let's talk about something else. Or we gonna deflect, or we gonna gaslight, or we gonna, try to manipulate. That's why the body has all these different type of manipulation tactics, because you don't want to feel it. Be honest, like a lot of us ain't grow
That's
up with
pretty interesting.
fathers, didn't grow up with certain people. Who wants to sit there and think about, damn, I really ain't have my father. Damn, my mother really ain't love me. Damn, my father really chose drugs over me. Like realistically, who wants to sit there, and feel that? So therapy is another gateway to help you feel that pain. And sometimes you need somebody to help you feel that. Because if that's the case, I wouldn't have no job if y'all could just do it on your own. I can't. That's the reality of it.
Facts.
Like, I mean,
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Damn.
Yeah, I always like to say the only way out the tunnel is through it.
Right.
So-
and some people need help through it.
Yeah.
Everybody cannot get through it by
Getting
themselves.
bars off.
He's going crazy.
I'm convinced now he has a list of what he's about to use through the whole episode.
He's over there going crazy. I'm not gonna hold
That
you.
nigga said, because when a monkey swings, it's not always going to grab the tree. Sometimes it's going to grab a leaf. And when it grabs a leaf, it just got to crawl after that.
Whose uncle are you?
What the fuck is he going on, bro? He said
what?
sometimes gotta go through it. What the fuck?
Nah, he's saying some
No,
stuff
but it's
that's
true,
good.
though.
Nah,
Yeah,
we
nah.
know we gelling.
This shit was
That's a
beautiful
fact.
though.
It was beautiful, and your timing is, I love it. It's
You might be able to
everything.
publish a book of like quotes.
One up's quotables.
Yeah. word.
Listen,
Nah,
I like, see, look, he even got a name for it already.
Yeah,
Look,
alright.
one up's quotables.
Back to the podcast.
We were on like people choosing therapists and switching. How can people go about finding the right therapist?
Well, like actually searching, or you mean like choosing? So on a general scale, finding a therapist, there's a website, psychologytoday.com. So that's a general website. You put it in, you put your zip code, and it'll give you therapists. Another way, you can look at your insurance provider, because again, you have different therapists who take different insurances. So you could call it, just like what, one thing I could say now is like, everything when it comes to mental health is just as important as, you going to your primary care. So you could call your insurance company like, hey, I want to see a therapist, and they'll give you a list of who's in your, your network and who they'll pay for, basically. Or you find somebody, they take Blue Cross. And that's another thing too. Therapists, we get paid through insurance companies, reimbursed. Look.
Definitely.
Definitely a lady.
Cheesecake. Nah, but that's a fact. I was saying like a little before, I was looking into it.
You should. And listen, you could start it, and if you don't like it, you stop. And then when you're ready, you try again. But you really won't know how it is to have a therapist unless you put yourself in a session with one. Because you never know. You may have a therapist that literally talk to you like, you're like, you're really a therapist? And they are. And it may not feel so like, therapy client, it'll feel
Yeah, that's what I'm
chill.
saying. Like, I know, like, with you being a therapist, I know, like, sometimes a lot of relationships, like, family members, friends, they'll probably be thinking, like, you talking to them, they thinking that you reading them. Yeah, I'd be like, all right.
Yes, they be telling me to chill, yeah.
So, like, be like, all right, relax.
Yeah.
One more time for the people, unless they missed it. Where can they go?
So psychologytoday.com. That's just a general website. You can search for a therapist in any state. You put in your zip code, and it'll give you a list of therapists.
Okay.
Then there's other websites. I have a list. If you follow me on Instagram, Shaniqua Thee Therapist with 2 E's. I have a list also on there of different websites if you're in New Jersey, New York, where you can actually get local therapists, that if you're looking for more, closer to home therapists.
That's dope.
So
And I see, like, you've been trying to do, like, you've been doing the whole little interactive comedy shit with your...
Yeah, my therapist.
dope.
I
That's
try
dope.
not to be too boring, because I can sit there and tell everybody about traumatic brain injuries and depression and all that. Like, of course, but at the same time, you want to grab an audience. So you got to try to figure out, how can I get people to watch my Instagram and watch my reels without just
want to
being...
link you.
And want to link me. You know what I mean, too?
Because, like you said, like, it's beauty.
For the right reason.
For the right reasons, yes. Book me as a therapist, not for nothing else.
Not the eye roll. The eye roll like this now.
Like, one
But
thing
yeah,
at a
like you
time.
can say, like, it's, in a sense, therapy is very beautiful, though.
It's a very beautiful thing. It's a very beautiful
like, I mean,
thing.
Why you
talking
say in
about
a
the pain.
sense though?
yeah, is there another sense where it's
Because once you get through the ugly, this shit is beautiful.
But why
Nah,
do you
but I'm
think
saying,
feeling
why-
your emotions is ugly?
No, not going through your emotions. I'm talking about, like, when you deal with, like, whatever issue that you have to, like...
Oh, the issue is
The
ugly.
issue.
Oh, wow.
That's the
Okay,
ugly.
that's
Nah,
the
because when
ugly.
you said in a sense, like as if it was like bad.
Like bad, yeah.
Oh,
like
nah.
it's not
reasons on
good.
why to go to therapy.
Because, like, sometimes some people don't know what that issue is, and when they find it, be like, wow.
Damn, yeah.
Now I got this whole clear, fresh air, and I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
This is life.
But that's growth. That's growth.
That's crazy.
And a lot of us wasn't taught that at a young age. We not taught like how to balance relationships as we get older, how to deal with change, how to deal with emotions. Like, we grew up outside, we had fun, and that was it. Now we adults, like we are the adults now. Like we not the kids in the room anymore. So like we got to figure out, how could I mend this relationship? How could I have this this conversation with my friend without belittling her or him, or like in a respectful manner.
We are the adults.
We are the adults.
And niggas gotta learn how to grow.
Yeah, in a healthy way.
That's what we was talking about, bro.
Yeah.
And communicating too. That's another thing. Communicating in positively.
I ain't gonna lie, like 4 years ago, certain shit I was just like,
Whatever.
oh well,
Yeah.
another one bites the dust.
Yes, a lot of people have that
That one-
mentality.
Another one bites the
Done
dust.
with me.
Okay. I got older, certain shit started happening. I'm like, damn, I can't be living
You
like
can't,
this no
yeah.
more. Like this.
You got a therapist?
He need one.
No, but he does a lot of work on his own from what he's saying,
Yeah,
like
I do.
self-regulation,
He'll be okay.
self-awareness.
My problem, okay, my therapy is I sit in my room and I just be like, I got the ceiling fan, right? So I be sitting I be like, okay, answer on that one, answer on that panel, and I just be.
Listen, whatever
sick
This
helps.
nigga's playing chess on the ceiling. This is not Queen's Gambit, my guy. This is
Hey,
up
you
with
gotta figure out.
Queen's
Take
Gambit
Rook.
was a good listen.
It was
Queen's
good.
Gambit was a good show.
But yeah, we trying to, but yeah. You know, like how Below was talking about the whole accountability. Like one day I had to really sit myself
That too,
down.
yeah.
And like I was just telling people like the whole May, like after that time we was out, that Monday, I had to sit down with myself like, I'm living life a little too crazy. Let me take a month off. And I fixed the relationship with my mother. I had to sit down and fix our relationship. And I was like, it was like years that I'm like, nah, I really got to do this.
Right.
Something
but you
was
see,
off.
you got there on your own. Some people need help to get there.
I grew mentally strong, but I still feel like I need to go to therapy though.
Yeah, it's always areas we could always grow in, you know. And just because you get a therapist and want to be in therapy don't mean you crazy. Don't mean you got to be, in our field we call it like levels of care. So you have your hospitals where you go in and residentials, you have your partial level of care, you have your outpatient, but sometimes you just need to talk to somebody. And that's, in our field we call that just a regular outpatient level of care, just having a level of support. And sometimes you need somebody that's not going to be biased, that's not going to judge you, that's not going to look at you, well, didn't you say such and such last week? Sometimes how some of our friends will be. And there's no shade towards our friends, but sometimes people look at it like, oh, I don't want a stranger talking to me. Sometimes you need a stranger to talk to you because they can be objective. You don't want somebody that's going to be subjective. That's another point of therapists. We're very objective. I don't know you.
Yeah, word.
This is very good.
She got R's with it now. Sometimes
it's the truth though.
It's Fendi.
I like to think that I'm an objective thinker, but a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, but people that are in my inner circle, they
think the
paint
opposite.
it, they paint it as a bad thing, if anything.
It's not a bad
I
thing.
look at things a little too rigid. Is he, what you said? Would you like to share with the rest of the podcast? You can open your eyes, too.
Yeah.
Repeat it again.
I'm
Say it with your
crying.
chest.
Say it with your chest, nigga.
But what I was going to say was, is there, is there a space where you create that environment where your friends can talk to you, so where it's not like, okay, she's gonna like try and read me and be a therapist? Or
Actually, to be honest, I've never had to create that specifically with my friends because they appreciate me being a therapist.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, like a lot of my friends, they come to me not like, hey, be my therapist, but they like, I want to ask you, I want your opinion because I know you're going to tell me the truth. I mean, again, don't get me wrong. I love my friends, and sometimes it's good to talk to a stranger because that love will make you see subjectively. So if my friend come to me about something with a guy and be like, nah, girl, he good, leave him alone. But if I'm your therapist, I may say, well, you know what? Revisit that conversation. Tell him in a different tone. Maybe use a different wording so he can process it different because of his childhood and how he grew up. He won't see it how you see it. So it depends. I mean, I'm learning how to turn on and turn off, but for the most part, I haven't had to separate it because my friends love it. They don't complain.
Yeah, I feel like, just being straight up.
Yeah, just being straight up with them, honest. Like, they don't complain. I mean, unless...
Right. I mean, at the end of the day, you gotta accept it for what it is. And if you telling me, like, from...
Because sometimes you can't even sugarcoat certain shit.
That's
what I'm saying.
You can't. Right.
All your loved ones, you can't.
a professional view,
Right.
why would I want to take that?
Absolutely. For free.
You don't always like the thing is,
free.
we not always going to like the truth. Like, that's the problem.
Exactly. Like, sometimes people don't really like the fact, like, when you read them, when you read them and tell them about yourself, and they be like, you doing that shit out of some
Constructive criticism, everybody
No,
can't
nigga, I'm
take
doing it out of because I love you.
Yep.
Yeah.
If I see you on some bullshit, I'm going to tell you on some bullshit.
Absolutely.
But sometimes it's how you
say it. Correct.
You say it. You feel me? Like, sometimes you be like, you on some bum shit.
No, that's wild. That's wild.
But that's me. I'll say that.
You better.
Right. Like, that's
You
crazy.
can at least like you sipping, but
Right.
you on some
But it's
bum
also
shit.
not what you say, it's how you say it.
Me, I'll
nigga.
probably be like, I'll probably be in the middle. You want some bullshit.
Yeah, all right, there you go.
Which isn't horrible, yeah, because you gotta call them out.
Bullshit not that bad.
Yeah,
You
which is
want
not
some
that
bum
bad.
shit crazy.
That's
Bum
wild.
shit is wild.
Nah, he
Yeah,
said
bum
you
shit
want
is
some
wild.
bullshit is not
you want
great.
some bull. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
but you gotta say it with some sternness.
But you also gotta
some bullshit,
remember,
nigga.
like, some people just be feeling like, who are you?
To tell me, but then that's why you don't need to ask me, because if you can't
Yeah.
take constructive criticism, we don't need to have this
Exactly.
conversation.
That's a fact. No, I'm just saying that's
Yeah.
what a lot of
No, that's
answers
very
would
true,
be
yeah.
because they be like, "Who are you to tell me?" Because you did
did X,
this
Y, and Z.
went-
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
But now we're going back into there's no self-awareness and self-regulation, because with that comes, damn, she right. And that's also part of growth from being an adult, knowing that you're not always right and you're not always handling things in the most mature way. And just because I'm not in your situation don't mean I can't call you out on it. Or maybe if I did the same thing last week, it's easier to see things different when you're on the outside anyway.
You wanna know what I do though? It be certain times where I don't accept that I'm wrong at the moment. Then just give me then just give me like 5 minutes to where it calms down, to where I can read myself, like
Delayed
how I handled that,
processing.
and I be like, Yeah, you're right.
I do the same thing.
It's just sometimes in that moment you already be high, so
High,
you
yeah.
ain't level to the like to really look at it from a plain view.
Yeah.
I'm on my one up shit.
All right.
But yeah, feel me?
But that also comes with, body regulation and, this guy's... I can't. And I try to I'm like, oh my God. Y'all hand gestures is hilarious. I can't.
Fucking
But what I was
Superman
saying...
ride and shit. Okay.
Right, that also comes with self-regulation and your adrenaline. When that adrenaline is pumping, ain't nobody trying to hear nothing. Don't
Facts.
talk to me.
Facts.
That's why people say when somebody's mad, you can't talk to them. You're not hearing it.
Yeah, for real.
Regardless of how mad they are or the situation.
Yeah.
You can't talk to me when I'm mad. I don't hear none of that.
It'd be funny because you like, I'm gonna talk to you and go, shut the fuck up.
Right, like what?
I'm just trying to let you
Damn,
know
right,
that
all
we can
that.
talk about
I don't
this
want to
later.
hear none of that shit right now.
That's how it be.
Facts, bro.
Right.
Like, I'm trying to calm you. I'm trying to let you think at a level.
But even that relax is
Plain.
like a trigger word, and I think that again goes back to language.
What you mean relax?
Right, exactly.
Relax.
Relax
Nah.
is supposed to calm
If-
you down,
if
but
you-
it makes you more hype.
If you notice, you like, yo, I'm gonna let you calm. I am calm. Ooh, you're not.
Absolutely.
Sir,
not.
there's a vein popping out of your neck.
I am calm. Eyes.
Please chill.
You on 10.
Yeah, no, you can't be on time when you're trying to resolve a problem. It don't work. It don't work that way.
Yeah, I'm learning that too.
It definitely
You just
don't work
gotta.
that way. Yeah, and if you have a delay processing and people around you know that and they care about you, they're gonna respect that and deal with you when you calm. And if they don't, then you don't deal with them. You gotta deal with people that respect your boundaries, respect how you deal with situations, and it's really no right or wrong way. As long as you know somebody, you know how they deal with
She
it.
spit.
You go along with it,
Yeah.
right? And if you don't want to deal with it, you just cut that tie. That's it.
See, like, my problem is, how they say those who don't listen must feel?
Mm-hmm. You don't hear it, it's fear.
James got a lot of cuts and bruises.
I got a lot of cuts and bruises. I don't understand a problem until I've been through it.
I
You
mean,
feel me? So that's my issue.
right?
So, like I was saying, we was just talking. I'll probably put expensive. Let's go. Let's get into
Expensive
it.
pain.
I probably put people through a whole bunch of shit. You feel me? And I ain't really start understanding like what the fuck I was doing until shit spun the block on me, and I'm like, oh damn.
Oh, you one of
expensive.
those.
What?
You one of those.
Huh.
See now, you gotta get you a therapist. You gotta get you work out of that.
Well,
You into adulthood now. Mm-mm.
now
Nah,
you know.
I'm good.
You're 30.
And now you're telling yourself
I'm
you're
saying,
good.
but I'm saying, once I realized that, it's like, damn.
You can't be doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
That's
can't put
exactly
people
why.
through that.
It's in the rafters. So
In the rafters.
It's in the archives.
Double back.
Opens it
Nah,
up,
I
reads
don't
it
like that.
when he feels like it.
What? It's cremated.
Cremated is
Yeah,
crazy.
cremated is very crazy.
Cremated.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
burn
word.
shit.
Turned it into dust.
He turned it into a shirt.
When the dust come out, see? Yeah, we here with it today. We here with it today. No, seriously. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about growth. Even if you're not where you want to be, as long as you're not where you was, that's what it boils down to. At the end of the day.
Indeed.
I got a question. I don't know where you about to take it, but I got a
What?
question because you brought up self-regulating a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanna expound on that real quick, right? What are some tools? Like, let's say I leave your session. You know what I'm saying? And you said that work has to be done outside of the session too. So what are some tools that I should have as a client or somebody who's seeing a therapist that I should use to implement some of those changes as far as like working through my problems? Or I don't know what kind of example I should give you, but there's a certain level of self-reflection that has to go
Correct.
into, so like what are some tools that I should have in order to make that happen, essentially?
Well, of course, it would depend on what you're coming to therapy for, depending on how traumatic it is, how hurtful, all that. But I would say, like, more on a general scale, definitely creating boundaries. I think a lot of us don't create boundaries with people, and that's why you have all these miscommunications, different levels of disrespect, putting yourself out there when you shouldn't, taking yourself, kind of back when you shouldn't. And it's like, at the end of the day, if you don't have boundaries with your own self and people around you, you're going to let people do whatever. Even just being like, it is what it is, that's not creating a boundary.
Yes, sir.
this lady spitting.
This shit all for
I'm
the
just
free.
saying.
How I just get a shot?
I'm just saying, you
This
know,
shit all
sometimes
for
you
the
got to create
free.
boundaries also for yourself as a person, because you have to understand, you know, certain things is, again, it's no rule book to it, but certain things are right and certain things are wrong. So when it boils down to it, you create boundaries, and it's also how you communicate with people. And our generation of millennials, we have this thing where we feel as though we don't owe anybody anything. And in a sense, we don't. However, at the same time, you know, with human decency, we do. So sometimes it's okay to explain yourself to people. It's okay to speak up.
Y'all are kids.
It's okay to speak up. Like, I don't know why our generation feel like I don't gotta say that to him. I don't gotta explain. I mean, you kind of do, and it's okay. Like, it's
Not
nothing.
that shit chewing at you.
Yeah, like, and it's sometimes you just, it's how you deal with people also, and then, you know, just a general scale of karma. Like, it's okay to speak up to people.
I ever get in a relationship again, I'm calling you. Tell her about herself. Because she's not listening.
Listen, I don't know about couples therapy. I tried that. That's
Have you tried it?
Yeah, that sound like pain.
That was
I know
couples
it
therapy
get
is a
bad.
lie. It get bad. It get real bad, especially in the beginning when you don't acknowledge a lot about yourself. It's bad. I mean, I love it though, because to see the growth, it makes me feel good to know that, you know, I was a part of creating something beautiful when people ultimately, you know, it's successful. But it get nasty. And it's the reality, because you got people in their vulnerable self and being real raw with their emotions and telling you about all these things they partner did, and you just like,
Yeah, nah, I got
and then you and me, I'm like, damn, nigga, you did that. Like, you know, so.
Damn, nigga, you did that crazy.
Yeah, like you like
Damn,
that's
nigga,
crazy.
you did that.
Yeah, like that's wild.
All the
Crazy.
things?
I mean, in my head, but you know, it's. I don't say. Nah, I can't say that in the same.
Yeah. So
No, no.
say you make it fit.
I mean, I had to work on that
Everybody
too.
knows that.
Yeah,
Listen,
I
I
ain't
had to
never
work
think
on my
about that.
poker face,
That's-
especially
yo,
in
it's
telehealth.
crazy.
Yeah, I
Matter
be
of
having to
fact,
be like.
besides even the relationship one, like you really still have to work on a poker face just in regular sessions. Like you really got to be
Of
able to
course.
just be on some.
Nah, but some shit you hear, you're probably, oh.
Well,
what
yeah,
the
because I'm a
fuck?
human still, of course. And so, I mean, you know, I have to apologize. Like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it that way, because I'm a human. At the end of
I
the
might
day.
look at you crazy once you give me that
Yeah, I
face.
slapped the shit out of my grandmother at 4.
He's like, you did what?
Or
Slap the shit out of you. Are you making that face?
Relax. Fucking be relaxed.
Listen,
I am relaxed.
I am.
Get some help.
She's the help.
I'm the helper. You know, I try to do my best. Again, it's therapy is a process. It doesn't happen overnight. It just moves as fast as you want it to.
So do you take some of your own tools that you give to your clients?
Oh,
to like assess yourself?
absolutely, absolutely.
So,
I
like,
mean,
how
it don't
do you-
always work.
So-
I don't always use it,
So, like,
but I
how-
try my best.
So I want to know, like, how do you assess yourself? Like, I know we all live in our, like, all 6 of us, we all live in our head at some point. We all assess ourselves in
we're all
different.
main characters in our
You
own
feel me?
story. Yeah.
Here you go again.
I think I like him. I like him. I think how I
good at
assess
counting.
myself.
Oh,
You. I was like,
You said 6 of
it
us.
is
Oh
6 of us.
shit.
I'm like, oh wow, he did that quick.
Oh, I'm thinking
That was good math, man.
oh, that's good math. I ain't good at math. So you better
that
than
was
me.
very on point. Good job.
That
Yeah,
really
he's not good
was.
at math either.
I know I am now.
Now?
Now, oh,
Yeah. When I get drunk, I spew wrong numbers.
oh, that's good actually.
No, wrong numbers.
Oh, wrong. Oh,
Yeah,
no,
not right
that's not
numbers.
good. Yeah, no, that's not good.
He's not a mathematician. Man.
Oh, okay, no,
It's bad,
that's not a
it's
good
bad.
thing at all.
Nigga said
anywho-
1 plus 8 is 2.
Is it?
1 plus 8. Look, you even thought about
That's what I'm saying, too. Like, wait. He looked up in the sky like, wait, hold on. Is it? It's not, honey. It's
I mean,
not.
like, we could make it to it.
Yo, that's your
Respect.
problem.
Yes,
It could become two. That's my
exactly.
problem for real though. But
Like how I assess myself though, honestly, I do it based off situations. Like if stuff kind of more so when things go sour, or again, like I said, I have a clinical supervisor that I meet with every week. I'll have a conversation with her and be like, hey, such and such happened. Tell me what you think. Because again, I'm not like a whole dead heart expert. You know, I'm still learning myself. So I have superiors who I go to. Then I also have my friends, some of my peers, where I'll be like, girl, tell me if I'm tripping. Or like I'll go to some of my older family members like, such and such happened, let me know. So a lot of my, even though I know I'm a therapist, I don't always use my own therapy tools. I just go to people who's also around me too. And there's nothing wrong with that. But with that, you have to be accepting of criticism, constructive criticism, and everyone cannot accept that. So that's where it starts. If I can come to you and say, tell me about such and such, or like, was I wrong? I should be able to, if I'm asking you, I should be able to say, you know what? I'm going to take it all in, whether it's what I want to hear or not. You're going to accept it. Everybody can't accept that. Some people will ask just to ask, but they don't really want to hear it.
yeah.
That's the next level of accountability.
Another level of accountability.
So, like,
absolutely.
They be wanting you to agree with them, and then when you don't,
Yes, it's an issue. It's an issue.
So like, you know, like as my job is I'm a bartender, right? So you know, I
You
deal
listen to
with
people all day.
I listen to people problems all fucking
drunk?
day.
So they tell you the
day.
raw truth when they get
So I'll be
inebriated.
sitting there listening. I'll be like, damn, shit is real. A lot of people fight pain behind a bottle.
Listen.
You feel me? A lot of people find like whatever evils that they want to suppress their problems through and shit like that. And I know I've been there when I fought my pain through behind the bottle and shit like that. So now I be really sitting there like talking to them. I'd be like, all right,
It'll be okay.
nah. Like once they say the
Here's another
issue,
shot.
Here's another shot.
like sometimes when they say the issue, I try to like, you just told me the issue. Try to like throw it back in their face. You feel me? Like last night I was dealing with a customer that came in or whatever, and he was telling me about shit with him and his mother, and it's falling through with his girl, and I'm like, bro, the issue's right there. Shit with you and your mother, you got to fix that relationship.
Before, yep.
Feel
It's
me?
called domino effect. Yep.
Because now you tying that missing link to your girl.
And that's also a part of trauma. When we want to comfort ourselves with trauma, we look at it, all right, well, this is a missing piece. All right, I'm going to go over here and let this person help me deal with it and fix it. But it's like, that's not the cure. You need to go back to the original, just like you said, with him and his mom and deal with it. Because now his issues is going over into the relationship with him and his girlfriend. And that's, honestly, that happens every day. Another part of boundaries. Creating those boundaries and separating your issues. And when you don't deal with your issues, they begin to overflow. So now every relationship you look at is issue after issue. When it ain't everybody else, it's that one issue.
And I feel like niggas got a problem with boundaries.
explain.
Niggas in general?
Niggas in general.
Or just like
Spanish
men?
man.
When you say
Elaborate on
niggas, you
that.
mean like people?
Nah.
Are you talking
Oh,
You
about
mean
us?
men.
Niggas, men.
Niggas,
Men.
niggas.
Oh,
Men.
I thought you were talking about like
The
us
male
as a group.
species.
The male, yeah.
All right.
I agree.
Explain what you mean.
Elaborate though, but I agree.
I feel like
Where are you taking this, James?
There you go.
There we go. That's a perfect sound.
Awake.
Where are you taking this, James?
That's a perfect sound for this.
the reason why I say that, because I feel like sometimes niggas they feel like suffocated when people set like their boundaries on them. Like say it's like a girl, whatever the case may be, like, yeah, you know, this is what I don't like and what I do like. So sometimes niggas be trying to test it.
I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
What?
Nothing. Go ahead. Go. I ain't say
No,
nothing.
but no, you did a face.
I did.
That
I
wasn't
did do a
poker
face.
face.
That wasn't a poker face. But
That
go
was- that
ahead.
wasn't
It's not working right now.
Go
She's
ahead.
definitely working right now.
You hired her?
I'm gonna let you finish. Go
She's
ahead.
on the clock.
Technically. But yeah, I'm saying like sometimes niggas just don't like boundaries. Niggas step outside of boundaries, try to push the limit on boundaries and shit like that. That's basically what I was saying. Like sometimes niggas be like, oh yeah, let me see how far I could get to the line without,
Of course.
She could give you an inch, now niggas running off with a mile. You feel me? So that's what I mean why sometimes niggas just don't like boundaries in a sense.
But y'all don't like boundaries because y'all don't like when people don't allow you to exploit them. That's what you're saying. Because how could you not like a
I
boundary?
want to say exploit.
I would say exploit because you just said if I give you an inch and you want to take a mile, I don't give you that mile,
Read
you're
him.
upset.
Read him.
So you're telling me you're mad because I won't let you exploit me.
Ah.
That's exactly what you're
is
saying.
it really exploitation?
That's what you said.
It's exploitation. That's what you said.
Because if you cross a line,
If you-
somebody said.
Correct.
Yeah, no, I'm saying.
I'm not gonna lie, you lost me. I'm like,
No,
I
no.
don't align with that.
Or maybe you're
I'm
not-
basically just saying, like, I know that niggas just don't like boundaries. Like, niggas feel like
But that's
sometimes they want to walk
the
over
issue
people.
with men.
Yeah.
Y'all don't like
It's not only
boundaries.
just me. I've been there. I've done this shit. And
Right.
That's why I can't.
Right. But,
Peace.
but boundaries need to be created for healthy relationships.
No, exactly.
Yeah, in any capacity, whether it's dating, friendships, whatever, in any capacity, you have to have boundaries.
Family, anything.
Any family, correct, anything. So you're supposed to be able to respect somebody's boundaries. So how could you say if I give you an inch, you want to take a mile? Why? I gave you an inch. Why can't you just take your inch and be good with that?
That's just
inch?
like sometimes when somebody tell you like something they don't like the first time, they don't
do
really
it.
heed to it. You Feel me? Like
But
sometimes,
that's creating boundaries. So if I tell you I don't like something and you do it again, depending on what your tolerance, because everybody's tolerance is different, I may let you do that to me 4 times versus
Shit.
another woman may let you do it 6 times. But at the end of the day, if that's
So
my
that's
boundary,
what I meant, like with the whole like the inch, like that's like your tolerance. Like,
yeah,
okay,
everybody's
you-
tolerance is
You can
different.
get off with this.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, you should, as a human and with human decency, you shouldn't want to exploit or disrespect anyone's boundary, regardless of the situation.
That's why after one, you're done.
Get one and
'Cause
done.
it's a principle thing. Fuck a tolerance.
Yep, and everybody telling that's why too. But that also goes into creating boundaries. Do you feel like you have boundaries with people? Do you feel like you stick with those boundaries?
James is what's the hand motion we doing all day?
Fluidity.
Ride that way.
Because anybody who has boundaries, you will not be mad at somebody for
Yeah.
not respecting them.
Yeah.
Because you know, vice versa.
It's
you
the
will
people
want it.
that don't have boundaries for, I guess, for themselves, right?
themselves,
That be
that's what I
mad
mean.
at other
Correct.
people, yeah.
Correct.
I agree. Because like, if you say, hey, I don't like this, and you know there's certain shit I don't like that people do, I'll be like, all right, fuck it, because
Yeah.
I have a laundry list of shit that I
Exactly.
don't fuck with.
So I know if it was the tables was turned and was something else, it'll just be done. But I was literally just talking about this in the car about boundaries and women, you know, more from a dating perspective.
Shit,
But
Yeah,
You got it on vibrate?
Yeah.
yeah, that's his because it ain't mine.
Yeah.
be
I
professional.
Take that off.
So
Be professional. We have a therapist in here.
I just seen you do this.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know. I
Your
just,
phone.
I just heard.
But yeah, go ahead. I
I lost my
apologize.
train of thought. What was I talking
Boundaries in the car.
about? Oh, boundaries. Oh, yeah. So we were talking about boundaries more so from like a dating perspective, though. But basically saying if women held more men accountable for a lot of the nonsense that they did, they wouldn't do it because they'll know that if I don't put up with it, they go to the next person won't put up with it, and the next person will be the same thing. But you have women who don't stick with boundaries or don't even know how to create them. So you have people who, you have more so men who just do what they want, just like you said, right?
Run it up.
Why you can't take a mile? I'm give you an inch, and why I can't have a mile? Right?
No, I'm not saying it's right, but I'm saying
I
that's
know,
what
yeah,
niggas
no, I
do.
know.
Yeah.
You're right. That's what I'm saying. That's what they're gonna do. So, boundaries is
A lot of
important.
people really don't respect boundaries.
They
That's the sad
don't.
part.
They don't. And then when I tell you my boundaries, and then you disrespect it, and I cut you off, now you mad at me. But I told you my boundaries, so
Yeah.
why can't
That's
you
exactly what
understand
it
that?
is.
Yeah. But that's why it's important to create those boundaries with people, so we not having those issues. I'm very big on boundaries. I don't play that.
Yeah, no, I like the respect boundaries.
Yeah, you have
That's
to.
true because I never had boundaries for myself.
You have to.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be like 100. Like
Nah,
how you
yeah,
said, like fluidity. Like it's certain things I'll just be like, all right, cool.
We
like,
here.
We here. We
But
in
it's
the
not
moment.
always that. It's a principle to certain things too.
So it's like, yeah, you know, like
yeah.
I'm big on principles and shit like that, but it was just like, I know nobody's not perfect, so I can't like try to say like, this is my perimeter. You can't come out of this.
I mean,
But
but
then I had to realize that I have to do that
You
in order
have
to
to
protect
check
myself.
yourself,
That's
right.
what, feel me?
Yeah.
right, right.
It's levels. Like people have like,
Levels, right.
people fuck up or whatever, but it's certain shit that's like, you playing with me.
Yeah, and you playing in my face, and
Yeah,
that's what we're not gonna do. Right,
Exactly.
right.
I think I let it get too far before I create the boundary.
Exactly.
That's the issue.
And that's
That's not having
exactly
a boundary.
Yo,
You
no
gotta have
funny
a boundary
shit.
Nah, I know
before.
that's what I'm saying. That's
So you
what I
try to
gotta
implement it
change
after the fact.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
like
this-
it'll happen, and then you're like, nah, I can't go with this.
Niggas
I
done
need
robbed the
it.
bank 5 times. Hey, I'm
Stop
putting a lock
putting
on the
my
door.
cash.
Yeah,
Nah,
right.
bro, real
That was
shit.
exactly what we were just talking about, though.
It was somebody, but
Yeah,
I was
crazy.
dealing with somebody that was like, I constantly putting their hands on me, and I just wasn't like creating that boundary to the point where I'm like letting it be known, like you do this again, and it's clipped
This
for
is
you.
clipped.
Feel me? But
Right.
it got to a certain point, I was like, oh, put that fist down.
Not one.
I said, I'm letting you know right now. I'm bored that fist, so you getting out. But
Right.
like before, I would know it's coming and still just like, you get what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, but stuff
I'm
takes
ready to
time
go.
too.
It's not funny, but
It's not funny.
it's not funny. But why he want to play though?
Right,
Why he
right.
want to play?
He
Like
making us
he always
laugh,
want to play
yeah.
when it's something serious.
Right.
The nigga said, I know it's coming, but
did you not duck first?
Right. What?
Y'all both ducked. It's
But
okay.
yeah.
I get it though. I get the
Duck
point.
brothers.
But
Yeah,
you gotta create it in the beginning. 'Cause
Nah,
it
that's why I
also teaches.
started.
It tells people how to treat you also.
Yeah.
And that's anyone, parents, aunties, uncles, grandparents. It teaches them how to
Especially
treat
family.
it, especially family, especially the older generation, because they think because they got a big age on us that they shouldn't
Yeah, I
have
don't do that
boundaries.
with family. I need to.
You have to.
That's a fact.
You definitely have to. People will take advantage.
I think those
of
were my first instances of like setting boundaries because I just had cousins that would
be wild.
Yo, tweak on me, and I'm just like, yo, all right, I get it. Y'all older than me, but like, chill.
Yeah, chill.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
see, and it's not. You can't be like that. Boundaries. Y'all have to learn to create your boundaries.
Very important.
The word of the day.
Because
Boundaries.
I don't like when people feel like they can play with me.
Yeah. Then that too, cause now we get into disrespect.
Yeah.
So now we take it to another level, cause now I feel disrespected.
Exactly.
So it's like before we take it there, I'm gonna create my boundary and I'm gonna walk away.
This is what it's gonna be.
This is what it's exactly. It is what it
This
is.
is what it's not gonna be.
Right. And I'll let you know.
That nigga selling drugs. The price of the brick is the price of the brick.
Yesterday's
This
price.
is not today's price.
Not today's price.
Period.
I hate him for saying that to y'all. I'll be right back. Let me go get the other bottle. I hate y'all niggas.
Oh, there's more than one.
Yeah. We got another one coming. What are some
Another one, thank you.
Another one, thank you.
I knew it was gonna pop.
Y'all funny as hell.
Yeah, I'm gonna just ask the question because there's too much dead air.
Yeah, go
what
ahead.
are some common traumas you come across with your clients?
Real basic.
Yeah, real basic, but something that you just get often.
You know, I dropped my French fries when I was 5, and I just drop everybody around.
See back.
I would probably
Welcome
say.
Nice and chill.
So the question was common traumas that I experienced with clients. That's actually a good one. It's weird.
I know. I was in the bed. I was looking at the ceiling fan.
Real quick, we not violating no
I mean, no,
patient
I mean, y'all, it's not up to y'all. It's up to me. Nah.
confidentiality.
No. I'm very general.
because it's a comment.
It's a it's
not
it's conversation.
One, it'd be crazy if he was like, "What's the worst?"
Yeah,
'Cause now
then
we
it's a
choosing
little more detail. Yeah.
But a common one, I feel like it's
It's
nobody
a general
can say,
question,
"Hey,
right? I would probably say toxic relationships with parents that kind of spill over into
You got a lot
aftermath
of
of
got a
trauma.
lot of Caribbean descendants as clients, clearly.
Yeah, I would probably say that's the most common. I mean, there's a few, but I would probably say that's the most one. A lot of people have had very bad relationships with their parents, so now they're in adulthood and they're like, yeah, when I was younger, I went through this. Or even to this day, still don't get along with their parents, and they're realizing none of their other relationships are successful, and it's because of that toxic relationship that they had in the beginning with their parents. Because our parents are the one who teaches us how to deal with the outside world.
Ladies and gentlemen,
That's who we deal with first when we come into the world. It's mommy and daddy, or if it's just mommy, or if it's just daddy, or whatever caretaker you had, grandma, auntie. But whoever your caretaker is that you consider a parent,
that's where you."
yeah, that's where you learn all those social skills, all those emotional cues. You learn that from them. So if you're not taught that,
Did it spill?
I'm listening.
no, it didn't spill. No,
You smart the duck though.
You tell me.
But nah,
He be fucking up sometimes.
Yeah,
I know that's how I was looking in the corner of my eye.
but okay. No,
I say
that's-
that because yesterday that was the conversation that I had with the person that came through the bar, and I was saying like the relationship that you have with your mother, that's the first relationship that you have with a woman. For me, like
Absolutely.
you in your mother's stomach for 9 months. That's your first connection with anything, and
Everything,
feeling everything that you go through. So once you lose that connection with your mother, everything is thrown off.
Absolutely, I agree.
Feel me? So
Everything?
Yeah, you can't have any successful relationship if you
You're
don't have a
not-
successful relationship with
you're not
your
fluid.
parents.
Not fluid.
I'm not saying like
You're that.
I'm not saying like prior to like say like your parents are gone, like they lost their life or whatever the case may be. But I'm talking about like when they're active,
Right, and present.
alive, and you, because you gotta think of it subconsciously. You're thinking of your parent, whatever it is. Even if you have a bad relationship, you're still thinking of your parent. You know that your parent is still out there. Oh yeah, I just graduated. My mother wasn't there. Subconsciously, you're
Yep.
thinking of that.
Yep.
Anything that you have that's like a highlight in your life that you would want your mother to be at
There, yep.
is gonna fuck with you subconsciously. You feel me? So I'm telling him, I'm like, bruh, I know like your mother going through her issues, and I know like you mad at her for whatever she did to your father. Some point, sometime, you gotta forgive your mother.
Yep, absolutely.
So I'm like, bruh, the conversation that I had with my mother, like I really had to forgive her for
You
like
have
certain
to.
things. And I'm like, the reason why we got this relationship is because I still got this shit. I still got this chip on my shoulder,
Shoulder.
and I'm taking this shit out on you on any occasion.
Every time.
So yeah.
Yeah, when you don't process and you suppress emotions, that's what happens. They show up in other ways and show up in other relationships. That's why you have to deal with that initial trauma. And sometimes everybody don't always know what that initial traumatic experience is, but that's why you go to therapy, you work through it. Or if you're great like James, you work through it by yourself with a ceiling fan.
You be playing out whole year's worth of scenarios out on the ceiling.
On the ceiling fan.
Really, bro? That's my office.
Now I'm
But listen,
35.
As long as it
Really,
works,
that's my
though.
office.
Yeah, as long as it works. I think that's the most important thing is working through it in some way or some form. And look at you, even talking to people at work is helping you, like, damn, maybe I should, or I should. Yeah.
That should be making
you. Yeah, it's
that should be
motivating for
making
you.
me. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'd say for me,
I'll be
it
reading
was-
myself off that shit.
It was probably like because I didn't really have the best relationship with my mom growing up. Typical like traditional Caribbean household that I grew up in.
Right.
But I'd say maybe it was more so like my older sister. That was kind of what affected the relationships I made with like my friends growing up because I would do nothing and she would just be like angry. And she had her own shit.
Right.
And I was just her annoying little brother.
And
you know
her
what I'm
stuff is
saying?
spilling over on you. Right.
Right. So once we got to a place where we started relating to each other, we started going through life as adults.
Everything's
And
changed.
everything kind of started changing for me in that regard. But the only thing I got from my mom maybe is like, I'm kind of like my own parent. You know, she kind of raised me very hands off.
That's it. I give you a roof and you're good.
Yeah,
that's
that's
all I
it.
need to do.
So that's pretty much what my relationship with her was. And because of that, I'm kind of like the parent for my friends, or I
Right.
was.
Because you're being that which you didn't have.
Right.
Because you know what it feels like.
But it got to a point where I was just like, yeah, fuck y'all. Y'all can sink or swim on your own.
I mean, listen, that's creating a boundary, because if you continue to try to be a savior for everybody else, you'll sink yourself. And how is that fair to you?
Ladies and gentlemen, ain't good.
It ain't
Then
good
who
at
can I
all.
help when I'm dead?
That shit
Yes.
is a bad feeling,
It's a
man.
horrible
That shit is a
feeling.
bad feeling when you drowning. And you know you drowning.
Yep.
But you don't want to save yourself. You just be like, fuck it.
Listen.
That's not good, bro. Been there, bro.
Yep.
Nah, I didn't even know I was drowning.
Oh yeah, you different.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
that's
that's
different.
wild.
Yeah.
That's-
To not know you drowning is crazy.
Like, why I can't breathe?
Nigga
That's
said,
what happened.
why is my heart stopping?
Right.
Just sinking for no reason. What's going on?
Yeah, nah. I be trying not to think about shit.
How you catch it?
Nigga,
That's depressing though. You know that. You just told on yourself.
I've been talking about this.
I know, but I'm just saying. You say I don't like think about shit. It's
I went to
depressing.
therapy for one thing. My grandmother passed, and then in that I found like I
Open
actually
up
changed
Pandora's box
type
for
shit.
whole nother stuff. Right,
Yeah.
right.
And then I brought it to the chat. You're like, yeah, you was depressed for a minute. I'm like, nigga,
The fuck?
Oh yeah, I
I didn't
know.
say shit.
I remember that actually.
know?
What?
Nigga James like, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, bro. You kind of you been in this bag for a while. Nigga,
Like,
like,
especially
I can read.
say
I read
that.
energy crazy.
Really?
Nigga, you ain't say it the whole time.
I know, but you know I
maybe
read
he didn't
energy.
know
But you know,
how.
like sometimes some people go through certain things and you just can't like.
Yeah, pinpoint.
How I'm gonna bring it. Like Blanco's a person like he has a poker face.
he is the
He
poker
just
face.
know that like he'll joke like when people meet him like, oh, you don't know the real him because I changed.
Yeah.
But like he'll joke about that, but like he never flat out said like, yeah, I really thought you was depressed during this time. So I brought it to the chat.
And then I had a lot to say.
Yeah.
That's good. So you, once it was made aware to the group, you was being supported.
Yeah, because you know, like sometimes I feel like sometimes some people don't want to say certain things to you until they feel comfortable. Like you can't
And that's true.
speak on certain things until they feel comfortable.
They want you to, right? That
Yeah,
is
you
true.
feel me? Because I could call you out on some shit, or I could be like, yo, bro, like I see you was going through something, da 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 da, like you know. And it'd be like, and say if he deny it. Say I see through it and he deny it.
I really didn't feel like I was changing.
He probably would have just been like,
Right. I don't see it. But you don't see it. When it's you don't see it.
Yeah,
People on the outside see it, which he did.
indeed.
yeah, that day was funny.
But what,
Funny
what
is
made you go
crazy.
get a therapist?
My grandmother had passed.
I know, but what made
What
you?
made?
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
I didn't. I didn't know how to talk to like I didn't feel like I had like anybody to like go to talk about. So I'm like, I'm gonna just go to therapy.
But you knew you wanted to talk to somebody.
Yeah. And I was thinking about considering therapy for a minute, but that was like the
That was like the
that pushed me,
ultimate, the
yeah.
push. And sometimes it happens that way. It's no handbook on or right or wrong time. It's really when you're ready. Like
That's for
that's
sure.
really what it boils down to. But I'm proud of you for going.
Yeah, shouts out
Still
to you.
working.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah.
Still working.
Yeah, you be saying this shit all the time. Like, you still working on stuff.
And but
Give you a
that's
little
good.
cheer crowd.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope. You always working on stuff every day.
All the time. Listen, there's always room for improvement.
So, why you feel like it's easier to like ignore your emotions than to like cope with it?
Or is it easy at all?
Well, okay. Well, why do you feel like some people think that it's easier?
I think because it's just the body's natural coping mechanism to just ignore it and suppress it rather than feel it. Because again, like we talked about earlier, who really wants to sit and feel those tough emotions or talk about those tough things? Anything that's uncomfortable, we avoid doing. Anything that promotes growth, that puts us in a place that's not common or not familiar, we just avoid it. That's just in our nature to do. But I think what it is when you're in a certain environment and you have that support, is more of a push. Because just like you said, asking why he went to therapy, he says grandmother passed, respectfully. But like, what made you think like, oh, I want to see a therapist? Because you know you want to get it out. So that's your body saying, hello, something going on in here. And again, the body is a beautiful thing. It will tell you things before you know it. That's like when you tired or you be out late and you get sick. It's your body saying, sit down, relax. So.
Yeah. Because like when I said like I had that talk with my mother, and I'm like, yeah, like how like you raised me and shit like that. Basically her mother passed, and me and my grandmother was like this. So she felt as though like I chose like my grandmother over her. So that was kind of like she felt like some type of resentment like that
towards you,
towards me type shit. For me.
Yeah,
so we had to sit down and had to like really like
go back, talk about this.
You feel me?
Let me tell you what you did and didn't do.
Yeah, you feel me? So as to why I was so close with her, and I'm like, okay, you're a Caribbean woman, and you see how my grandmother was Jew. Why would you want to trickle down and be that with me?
Correct.
You feel me? When I said that to her, it was just like,
you can't tell what's in the parents that. But then again, now you added in that little razzle dazzle of cultural issues, because now you have West Indian, and now I'm West Indian too. I'm Guyanese and Jamaican, so you in a household where you can't speak up. You can't tell me about yourself. Here you go.
Guyanese, huh?
Guyanese and Jamaican, but I understand it from that cultural. Yeah. Respectfully. Yeah, that's why I said I'm not perfect. Look, I'm being honest. Transparency. I'm being honest. I am not perfect, and I have a lot to work on. But oh my gosh, I'm not the buzz.
We gotta get the authorities for you. Continue. I'm sorry.
I mean, no, I get it. I understand
See how
that
she tried to, like,
culture
slide
piece.
that in there?
Yeah, I tried to slide it.
Guyanese, Jamaican. Yeah.
No, but I get that cultural piece. Is like, you can't speak up. You can't tell them about themselves. You a child. Even if you 30, you still a child. You can't tell me nothing. You wrong. And it's like, yo, like, you're wrong. Take the moment to really be like,
oh, Lord,
I messed up. I did this. But, parents don't.
My mom be hitting me with that's your opinion. Like when I tell her certain shit that she did, like to me and my sister growing up, she be like, that's your opinion. I'm like, oh.
No, that's a fact, but okay.
I'm like, all right.
Right.
So Shaniqua, do you have like any like quick tips for like people that's like, say like many mental problems that they're dealing with, how they can like find like a breakthrough through them?
I really just say, reach out to your support system. I mean, and stay busy. Do things that feed, like, your body, your soul. It's easy to fall victim and fall into a dark hole, especially when you're going through emotions. Very, very easy. So I would definitely say look at your support system.
Be honest with them.
Be honest with them. Reach out for help. I'm very on my therapy page. I post reels and stuff, even about what I go through, and I'm very transparent on reaching out for help. It's not a bad thing to reach out for help. I don't know what it is in the Black community. We feel like we shouldn't speak up, especially with the men. But we have to speak up and utilize your support system. Because again, if you can't get help if nobody knows. You can't. You really can't get help if nobody knows. You have to speak up. And it's like, you got to love yourself enough to be like, let me ask for help. Whether it's a therapist, a friend, a peer, your teacher, whoever, somebody, something. You have to talk about it and, speak up.
Well, like she said, man, sometimes you really just got to check yourself.
Yeah, and check it. Yep, accountability.
Self-regulation.
Accountability is probably the hardest part. I ain't going to hold you. We were just talking about that shit last week. Oh, my God. That shit is...
It is. But when you start making those small strides, it becomes easier. So it's like that whole practice makes perfect is definitely true. Because once you start doing it, it becomes natural, and then you start reprogramming
That's why they
your
say
brain.
like the first step is the hardest,
The first step is always the hardest.
especially on the journey.
But do you want it? Do you want it?
Do you want it?
Trying
You
to
know
pull
what I'm saying?
someone up. Shit.
Nah, I wasn't trying to put one out. I wasn't trying to be one up.
I like
That
it.
wasn't one of his quotables.
Nah, it was good.
Thank
It was a
you.
good
It
one.
was all right. 4 out of 5
It was
stars.
good. I liked it. It was good.
Liked it.
I liked it.
I don't know, man.
I mean, one thing I can say though about our generation, especially with you guys, for even like inviting me on here, mental health, we like millennials, we into it. Like everybody talking about it. We all still working on it, but everybody's like, yo, I gotta take care of my mental health. So that's one thing I applaud
Yeah, I feel like
us
the mental
on.
health thing been coming up in like
Yes,
the last
the past
3-4
couple years,
OD,
absolutely,
nigga.
especially since COVID, like, because COVID put a lot of people in a spiral. I mean, even before COVID, people were suffering, but COVID specifically, like even down to like insurance companies, they're covering more for therapists. Even when you go to your primary care physician, I don't know if everybody experienced it, but when they ask you those general questions, they're like, have you felt depressed? Have you felt sad? Do you feel like you want to hurt yourself in the past 7 days? And I mean, your primary care physician should be asking you this because it's New Jersey law, but they're asking you this nonetheless.
But remember, like, you see, like how you saying that.
Like, is there anything else you want to ask me before I go,
before
Doc?
I go.
Anything at all that comes to mind.
Right, exactly.
But like you saying that, like asking someone if they're depressed.
Leave it.
What I want.
You know, I got ADD. Is because people really don't know that when they're depressed.
No, absolutely. I agree.
So like you know how
I
like
agree.
Blanco said like he didn't know when he was drowning. It's because he didn't
He
know.
didn't know.
You feel me? Like you really don't know sometimes
know.
when you're depressed. You just be like, okay, I'm in a bad funk. It's been a bad week. Whole time, it's been 4 months.
Right.
You've been feeling the same way.
Confusing 4 months for a week is crazy.
No,
But it happens.
'cause
It
sometimes-
happens
Nah.
though.
Sometimes,
happens.
because sometimes you just living in a
Yeah.
Live in
you
the
just,
trance
you,
and the
you
schedule.
just living
we
in a
just
whole
going.
like okay,
Yep.
like that shit with fucking SpongeBob and with Squidward. He was so happy going to work, or going to Pilates.
Yeah.
Go to
Fast
the
forward.
supermarket.
Fast forward every day, his face-
miserable. Yep. Getting.
You
Yep.
feel me? Like you
that
really
is
don't.
deep.
Yeah. Oh, you ain't seen that episode?
That is deep.
When you playing the clarinet.
Yeah, it's playing Cornettis every day. It was the
Oh
same thing.
my God, I hate him. So
I remember that episode. That
Yeah.
that was a deep one. I was young when I watched it.
But you probably You're not gonna
I didn't look at it from that point of view,
correct.
but now that I look
No,
at
it's a
it,
real thing.
that is deep.
It is a very real thing.
Well,
That is me.
He was only miserable because he missed SpongeBob.
Nah, I've been there. Sometimes I'd be like, okay,
And you miss people you don't even think
my
you gonna
life
miss.
is the same shit
Every day.
every day until the weekend. Oh shit, and I'm going out, and then what?
But then the
wake
weekends
up.
become a blur too, and now we just blurred lines.
That shit
Yeah, we
ain't
live in a
48
blur.
hours. That should be
Yeah, we live in
12.
a blur.
Yeah, that definitely feel like 12.
Weekend
go
dad
by
be feeling
fast.
like 12 hours.
Cause it'd be like, then you start asking,
Well, you know how I feel about time.
you know, social construct.
Made by man.
Hey, man.
Time is a social construct.
Doesn't.
I mean, but
time
we
is an
need it.
agreement.
Somebody made a
Time is
sundial,
really-
and we just been going off that shit ever
Time
since.
really is an agreement, though.
Time is an agreement.
Oh, so you're basically saying, what if the weekend's actually shorter?
What?
Well, I'm like, wait, huh?
You lost me with that one. I ain't going that
Oh,
far.
okay. Then we now.
I'm just
Nigga, what?
saying, like,
I thought we was.
somebody made a
thought you were
sundial
full.
one time, and we just been going off that shit ever since.
But time really is an agreement, though, because now, like I said, a social construct that we're all forced to around this whole.
Which I
Okay.
think it's a bad thing that we got, even whether
That we
it is or
have time?
isn't.
No, I
Yeah,
don't think it's about that.
yeah. Because you
It
need
has its
some
pros
type
and
of
cons
cons. What are some of the cons?
of time.
Yes.
You might there might be a
Gotcha.
there might
Gotcha,
be a
nigga.
deadline for something that you're literally just not ready to perform or execute.
Ah, good one.
And the things that depend on, like
That
me,
is a
I'm a
time
creative
thing.
person. Sometimes what my job entails, I don't have the creative juices to make content or make mixes for people, and I still got to do it. It don't be my best work because I'm not in the mindset to do it, but I got to do it and get it
This-
done
Right.
by a certain time.
But that's also a motivator, and
Yeah.
and it also creates structure, and also
Yeah,
creates
I was-
self-discipline
Yeah.
and self-regulation. Because at the end of the day, it may not be your best, but you got it done.
Because I'm
Yeah,
about to say that time really does create structure, though.
It really does.
I'm not saying that
I
it
fuck with
doesn't.
time. I be saying shit to fuck with people. Like when it, like it's 4 for 4. I'm like, but is it really?
What?
What is it really 4 for 4?
Oh, okay. And
Like, is it really the time of day you think?
I know. That's a different sense. You're talking about the literal sense. We're talking about time, the
I
concept.
understand. And I said I fuck with that. I said I be doing shit to fuck with people.
Because
time is a boundary.
Yes, time is a boundary.
All right.
Look,
It is.
he said,
It
all
is. Time
right.
is a boundary.
This I hate when he does this.
It is. He's
It
not
is.
lying.
I'm not lying. Time is a boundary.
You know when comedians take the first joke and put it in the last joke? That's what this is.
Time is a boundary, right?
Time is sure it's about
No.
Oh, tell them. Yeah.
Time is a boundary, right?
I don't. What's happening?
What Shaniqua is that?
What?
He pick it up.
Yeah, he ain't pick it up.
I'm confused.
Yeah.
We agreed to do something at a certain time, and a few of the fellas crossed that.
Oh yeah, time is definitely a
Here you
boundary.
go. Here you go. Why you outing me like that, bro?
I don't remember
I didn't even
this.
say what happened. You don't remember? I didn't forgive you yet. So no, I did.
Hey yo, we'll talk about this because I don't remember.
Yeah,
My
he's
brain not
definitely
We don't want
lost.
you to remember, so just stay right there.
He's 100% lost.
It's all good.
That's what I'm doing, dude.
Time definitely is a boundary, though.
It really is. It's a good boundary though. That's why I asked what are some of his cons, because I feel like time definitely helps us self-regulate. Because think about it, if we have time, when we doing anything, whenever, however,
Yep.
how does that does it promote for successful society? Unless y'all can tell me how it does. I mean,
Nah, I don't.
again, I'm no expert, so correct me if
Because
I'm
now
wrong.
we all free
Right.
spirits.
Yeah, everybody free spirit doing what they want. So if you tell me come to your podcast at 5, I'll be there at 8. I'll be there at 8:30, and now everybody like.
But would you really be there at 8 if there's no time?
I was gonna go into that too. So now you're right. Or I just show up when I show up.
But the reason why it's a boundary is because we have those numbers.
Correct.
Facts.
Right.
That's why it's a boundary.
Yeah. The numbers create that
Yeah.
that
That
solidity. Right. Solidifies.
If it wasn't no numbers,
Yeah.
we'd just
We
be
wouldn't
out there
know.
Because
willy-nilly.
then it could be, it's 5 in your world.
Right.
Gotcha. I'm like, you got
Y'all
pulled
about to
over at
give me a
9 p.m. No, I didn't.
Right.
It's 9 in your world.
Yes.
In my world.
My world is a different time.
Y'all niggas in the upside down. What is
Listen,
this?
they're upside down for real.
If any of us go missing,
I got to
you know
finish
why.
Stranger Things now.
Oh, you
love-
like change? I love
I
change.
love
So
Stranger
question.
Things. I gotta
Yeah,
finish
I didn't start the new season.
Because we
Get it together.
we talk about this from time to time. So what about the person who's looking at somebody else, right? Probably a little older. Like let's say I'm 24, looking at somebody who's 32, and they accomplished the X amount of things in their life, and I'm trying to map or blueprint my life like that person. Is it imperative that I accomplish those things in the same amount of time they did?
Absolutely not.
Right. So that's why I say there's cons to time too, because there's some people that do that and end up
That's
kind of
true.
fucking their life up.
Up, yep, trying to do somehow somebody else did it. That is true.
Well,
feel me?
especially these days, everybody like, oh, they made it. They doing this at this age.
Oh,
they
he's
made it, man.
25 with this, that, and the third.
That is
I'm
true.
23. I'm not doing nothing with my life. I need to
Yeah.
do something.
Right.
Yeah.
And
But
that
that-
leads you to make like some terrible decisions sometimes.
Agree, but that also goes to, being secure and having a level of self-awareness and knowing that your journey is your journey and not someone else's.
Which is true.
And everybody don't have that, which is something else you work on in therapy. Security. And security don't just always come from a relationship perspective and cheating. It comes from you being confident in whatever it is you want to do or need to do and how you do it in the time frame that you want to do it.
In the time frame you want to do
In
it.
the time frame that you want to do it.
That's why I say like time has its pros and cons. It's
does,
cool.
though.
It
It
gives you the
does.
structure, you know what I'm saying? But in the grand scheme of things, some people, because majority of people don't think like that, like you said. So
Right.
You
That's
know?
why when you go to therapy, we help y'all think that way. Another perspective.
she out here selling.
Oh, yeah, she free promo, man. Well, it's not free promo to her. This is,
This is what I
yo,
do.
yeah,
This is
you
my
feel me?
career.
Like,
I'm
y'all better come link her
Yeah.
for all the right reasons.
all the right reasons.
All the right reasons.
Yeah,
Respectfully.
you can't book her for nothing else.
Yeah.
Respectfully.
She only got one link.
That's it. Nothing else. Those giggles.
We gonna squeeze one more.
Yeah, let's get one more.
I don't know.
You don't know what? Well,
knows
you
nothing.
added this topic, so I think we should.
Oh, the last one?
This
KP?
No, not that one.
Oh, okay. KP told me not to ask that, so never mind.
No, we're not gonna add that. We could ask. We're not gonna do that. What do you think? Why do you write it like this?
What? Let me see.
Why are people fascinated with the term toxic? Right?
Oh, yeah,
Like,
being toxic.
yeah, because over the years, it's
You
it's,
right.
it's a word that kind of just been,
Thrown out.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like for just
Oh, yeah,
inappropriate
yeah.
behavior
Oh, yeah, I
or
did write
whatever.
that crazy.
Yeah, your grammar here is
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
bananas.
Sorry, guys.
You're not sorry.
It was like 3 in the morning. Sorry, guys. I apologize.
What do you think
I
is
beg
people?
your
Yeah, I was
pardon?
reading that like, word.
I was
It's like these niggas dumb.
No, I don't think people are fascinated with it. I think what it is, it's a commonality. People are used to having that commonality of being toxic. Because even for myself, again, growing back to how I was as a childhood, I was used to seeing my mother and my father physically fighting. So when I got into relationships, that's what I did when I got angry. The first thing I did was throw something, or I would hit you, and it wouldn't.
I was the guy in Eastside.
You know what it was,
I can't
nigga?
just say that. It was a little bit of both. It was a little bit of both. But
God,
like,
these women are crazy.
yeah, I mean, I think it's just a common thing in us. I think what it is honestly, it's a form of ignorance of people not knowing better. Because there's nothing healthy about being toxic. Nothing. At any age, for no reason, there's nothing healthy about being toxic in any type of relationship, whether it's with your parents, a girlfriend, boyfriend, spouse, whatever. Co-worker, all that. It's not.
I feel like people glorify it though.
They do. And that's why I said it's a form of ignorance. Because if you look at the
Why you say
benefit.
coworker? I'm sorry.
You can be toxic with your coworker.
I guess, yeah.
Toxicity is not.
Yeah, it's not
subjective,
limited.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't really
never
get
know.
too much toxic shit at work.
Some people do. Some people have very toxic work environments.
People,
Right.
you could be
I
as
got
per
what you're
last
saying.
email, like
Yes, and
people
somebody
get real
always
snappy
being-
and shit like
yes.
that.
Got you.
Or contributing, you know,
Ate my
like
lunch.
touching
That's
your
crazy.
lunch. Definitely
That's
touching your
crazy. I
lunch.
might
100%.
violate if you eat my
That
lunch
ain't
at work.
toxic. That's you about to get fucked up. But alright,
could be
go
real,
ahead.
yeah.
I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good. You're good. Yeah, no, I just think it's a form of ignorance and people thinking that, oh, well, this is what everybody do, so I'm gonna do it. But it's not. It's actually something that people need to stop doing because it's no pro in being toxic. And if anyone can tell me one, trust
You
me,
feel like
I'm
it
all
adds
ears.
excitement to the relationship.
I
Yeah.
don't think so. No,
Little spice.
no.
I get that a
Tabasco.
lot. I hear a lot.
That's-
parsley.
That's
Little
toxic.
seasoning.
A little salt
A
bay, a
little
little
season.
toxic
Bay.
bay.
No, absolutely not. I think what it is people, again, just being used to it and not having nobody be like, yo, that's not okay. And that is actually something that needs to be worked on for people in therapy because you should never find no comfort in any way of being toxic in a relationship. Why? Toxicity is chaos. Why do people find any type of comfort in any form of chaos?
There's harmony and chaos.
What harmony?
But there is harmony and chaos.
No.
Okay, what harmony?
There's harmony on the other side of chaos.
No, it's harmony and chaos.
You gonna
Like
answer
right in the
question,
middle of
nigga?
it?
Nah, I'm just leave it at that.
This nigga's
Next week
Batman.
episode.
Batman voice. Nah, it's harmony and chaos though. Because in chaos, you.
You better not say
Please-
chaos is harmony.
No. I was never gonna say that shit
where you
like
was
that.
going.
I was
You know
never
that was
gonna
a
say no
James
shit
Bond.
like that. I was never gonna say no shit like that.
But
Someone's not gonna say that. But anywho.
But anywho.
Nah, because that's where you was going. You was
No,
like,
no.
There's
The
harmony in
reason I
chaos
was gonna say-
because in chaos there's
harmony.
Nah.
There's harmony in the chaos because
Nah, there's harmony
chaotically.
and chaos just for the fact that like it's beauty in the fact of what's going on.
So within the chaos, there's harmony. That's what you said.
where's the beauty in what's going on?
Where's the beauty in what's going
That-
on?
What you mean?
Where's the beauty in toxicity/chaos? Where's the
Well,
beauty?
I wasn't talking about being toxic. I was just saying it's harmony and chaos.
Okay, where's the harmony and chaos?
Are the two not synonymous, James?
I mean, I believe that's the context of what we're talking about. Is
I
having to be
believe so.
synonymous. Somebody needs a therapist.
This is not about therapy. This was a
I'll tell you what it's about.
this was a
He in his own world. Maybe
Yeah,
in his world. It's harmony in it.
It's
I
about
don't know.
the James plane.
Yeah. The ceiling fan. Look,
The
he's looking
ceiling
about
fan.
it. The ceiling fan.
because a ceiling fan spin is very chaotic, but it's harmony as it calms me down.
No, it is not.
A
Whatever
tornado
makes you-
flew around.
if that
my
makes
room.
sense to you.
Was that?
Then
what
you
was
need a
talking about?
therapist.
Yeah, a tornado flew around my room before you came.
He
Excuse
was
me.
talking about a ceiling fan.
He's talking about ceiling fan, really?
No, he wasn't talking about no ceiling.
That's not sitting here like, wait, really? I would have been like, wait.
I'm like, damn, I gotta go listen to that again.
Yeah, right.
The whole time that shit was
Run that
about a
lyrics
ceiling
back.
fan.
It is a ceiling fan though.
No, when has a ceiling fan ever caused a mess that you gotta excuse my room?
Right.
So what caused the mess in his room?
Yeah.
What?
The person.
The person. It's
Yeah.
the tornado who came and
You
messed
never heard
everything
express
up.
like a tornado?
Yeah, come in your room when you
Yeah,
step
I
all
know
over the
that.
floor.
So he's calling the
You're
person
familiar
a
with
tornado.
tornadoes?
He didn't, not the person. Oh my god.
Let me stop stressing y'all out.
Yeah, you see that over here like. You're
Just
not
gelling,
serious.
guys. But yeah,
We get it. We get it. But again,
That was an IG caption of mine. It's harmony and chaos, but I forgot the end of it.
yeah, that's definitely just a saying.
it.
You
That's
chaotic,
definitely
bro.
just a saying.
I'm
Yeah.
not chaotic.
This nigga's poetically
Last
chaotic.
episode, you said you gotta see how close you get to the fire.
Oh,
What I say?
how close you gotta get to the fire?
Close you can get to the fire. And I said I can't wait for this episode after that. He said, let's talk about it.
Did I really say that?
Yeah, you was here.
I do like playing with fire.
I don't remember things.
I do like playing with fire.
I'm not.
So of course you would say there's harmony and chaos. Like you like playing with fire.
I definitely remember him saying some wild shit like that, but
I do like
I don't
playing
know
with
what
fire.
we did after that.
And then he's like, oh, I'm like, oh, now we gonna save it. He's like, no, we talking about
Oh, yeah, you did
What, the
that.
end of last week?
it now.
Not last week, cause we.
Let me find the caption first so I could just
Provide some clarity.
This
yeah.
guy.
James, with all due respect.
All right, if it
No, it's harmony mastered from chaos.
We don't give a fuck.
He was about to put that out before you said it, but you smoked yourself by saying it right before.
That was perfect. Thank you.
That was perfect. But I'm saying harmony
perfect.
mastered from chaos, so you know.
That was
At
perfect.
the end of the chaoticness, harmony came. So sorry for me saying it's harmony and chaos, but that's what I meant. Sorry.
You could really be a rapper, just say anything, and niggas be like,
Right,
yo,
be
cause
like-
that dead ass be beauty in the
That's
chaos,
true, though.
my nigga.
That's true though.
You heard what he
After
said?
the chaoticness is over, and I'm gonna tie it into growth. After the pain is over, there's growth. Same thing with chaos. After the chaos is over, there's harmony.
you losing me, but I understood you was different when you understood what A Boogie was saying.
Oh, sometimes you gotta think about things how you don't want to think about things.
Yeah, word.
That's the same thing of how you suppress pain.
No.
Yes, it is.
No.
Yes, it is. Sometimes you got to think about things how you don't want to think about it. So sometimes I got to think about what I don't want to think about because I don't need to think about it.
But you're thinking about it.
Exactly. That's what
Oh
I'm saying.
my
You
God.
also
So that don't make no sense.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm gonna sit this one out.
Basically, right? You know how I was just saying about sometimes people deal with trauma.
Yes.
They live through their trauma, right? Sometimes they suppress their trauma and just live
I
through
get
it.
it.
That's how I took it.
That's
That's how I
but
took
it
it.
literally it don't make no sense.
It don't make no sense, but it makes sense.
It can't mix. It can't not make sense and make. It's all right. It's all right.
I guess on I don't even know, but like,
that's
I guess what he was trying to say, there's a
His
certain,
third
I
eye
don't
is different. I don't know.
Yeah.
know. There's a certain level
That's like
of
a That shit not even a third.
That's fluidity.
no,
Fluidity for you.
that's ignorance. But yeah, I guess I don't know. He was just saying in a nutshell, or maybe what the fuck you saying. I don't know what the fuck you. I have no
Okay,
idea.
well, where you going now?
Right. No, but I was gonna say sometimes I guess the way you used to
Right.
looking at things, you know what I'm saying? You gotta think like somebody else or something else. I don't
I
fucking
think
You
we're
was
all
doing good.
confused.
You should've just stopped.
Now you confused. We all confused.
All your quotes was good into that one.
Oh, I was just trying to explain the
Oh,
A
his-
Boogie thing.
you can't explain him.
Oh,
He can't explain.
Yeah, he can't
Oh, I
explain
can
it.
definitely
His
explain.
dancer.
But you really do need.
but you
sometimes
can't
not to
make
think about
sense
things
out of
how you don't want to think
nonsense.
about things.
We're gonna move on from that.
No,
Yeah, I'm a little.
write a book on it.
Nobody's
think
gonna
about
buy
it.
it.
Don't think about it. That's the name of my album cover.
Don't think
Don't
about
think
it.
about it.
think about it.
But while you're thinking about it, because you should be thinking about it, even though you're
Because you know
not,
what it
because
is.
you should
Look,
be.
look.
I'm looking.
The name
to
of the
say some
album is
bullshit.
gonna be "Don't Think About It," right? Mm-hmm. And through each track,
You're gonna
I'm
think
gonna make
about
them
it.
Think about
think
it.
about it.
Last one is like, ha, made you think about it.
Bars, nigga.
Wait.
Way to sell an album.
You don't know nothing about that.
The like someone be like, "Wow,
Nah.
this nigga really made y'all niggas think about it."
Yeah, that would
Talk
be
about a
fire.
mind game.
That would be fire. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah, I would like to hear the tracks. Let me know when it's done.
He not recording shit. Can you open your eyes, sir? Anyway,
It's the subtle shots. But you know I do.
is there anything that we'd like to cover?
Oh, I got a
we
question.
What's
Before we
fluidity?
go.
What's fluidity?
Shut the fuck up.
What's fluidity?
I got a question though. For you.
Oh shit.
Through this whole episode,
What row?
And now for our
Did you-
feature presentation.
use your work
Assessment.
on any. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you was
On any
reading
of
us in
us.
here, wasn't
No, I
you?
was not
You
reading.
lying.
You. So at no point work kicked in with any of us.
Absolutely, yes, of course. Of course.
So who needs therapy first?
You.
I was the first person who asked the question. I honestly think you're at a great start. You've already started doing the work outside of sessions. You get a therapist, you take off. And us therapists, we like clients like you because you already know what you really need. It's just you need a little to
Push.
go towards it, and you're already technically working on it with the people at your own job. But now you just need a more of a
Am I
structured
still a
form.
What's in my fan?
What? And yeah, and a ceiling fan. Yes, and your ceiling fan. So I apologize.
Nigga gonna show up to the therapy session. With
Well, I can plug this in now.
This will help our session go faster. Just put this up while they're on the couch.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to see if it was all the way off while you was on.
No, I came mentally prepared for that.
Yeah, she
but
came
I mean,
mentally prepared.
I did. I came mentally prepared.
She came professional.
Prosecco.
No, she's drinking water.
Yeah.
Oh, there's water in there.
Yeah.
Let me see you tilt it toward the camera.
Water.
So
Oh,
she's
wow,
not
you're
on 100%.
wild.
She's on.
I'm on.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I'm good. I'm on
She's-
sobriety.
she's on
100%,
sobriety.
Yeah, I'm drinking.
So you was reading us. It's all good.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
I was.
It's all good.
definitely.
I was.
Prosecco was there.
So we
Yeah.
all need therapy.
Absolutely. All of you guys have already identified some traumas that you've experienced. We have domestic violence. We have, some toxic relationships. We have some grief counseling. So, a little bit of everything in the room.
That's a good read.
Yeah.
I lied on mine.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Nigga said a lot about
My name not even Aaron.
I never
I never-
got beat.
I never been in a relationship.
Nah, gotcha. We get.
Well, no, because you
It's like,
said
nah, we
about
fucking with you. We
That
fucking
sounds like, wait, what?
Nah,
I
we
listened
fucking
to
with you.
details.
Nah, that would have been jokes though. We were like, yeah, we talked about this before you came. Like, we
Yeah,
gonna make
I
up our
would've
own
been like,
traumas
damn.
to see if you.
I mean, listen,
You do that.
We should have.
no.
That would have been just to see if you was reading.
Right. Because
I'm a mind
I could have been.
But you-
hit.
but-
I mean, it would
You proved
actually
yourself,
that would have
though.
been a mind game though, because I'm a therapist. I only can go off of what you tell me, so I'm gonna respond to what you tell me. I'm not gonna sit there and be
No.
like,
Like
trying
the
to,
question that I just asked, you answered it so well, so quick. Like clearly, y'all all because this.
Yeah, because
this,
y'all
this.
spoke up and y'all spoke.
Nah, but I'm
detail.
saying like that's fire for you to listen through this whole episode and just know
Hear
each
everything.
one
Yeah,
like that.
you got some family counseling.
Wow, that's really. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Listen, anything
I
with the
coulda done
parent, you need family counseling.
Want some
'cause
more water?
My mom and
no,
I are
I'm
cool.
good. It's almost done. I'm good. Got a little sweet left.
I appreciate you.
Well, I appreciate
very
you guys
beautiful
for being
Yeah.
transparent.
That
I
was
think that's a beautiful
I
thing
like
for
this.
black men to be transparent. I love it. I absolutely love
This
it.
was a very good episode.
Yeah.
Before we go,
Might be one of my favorite.
can you explain the fluidity though? I think should we call the episode fluidity?
You know you want. You can't even say it, but you all right.
I just said it
wouldn't-
about 30
You said
times.
call this episode fluidity? I wouldn't.
What you wanna
Because
call it?
fluidity, it's Pride Month, and fluidity has a lot to do with sexuality.
Yes.
And that can be a very sensitive
Let's not
topic,
do
so
that.
you want to be
Whoa.
very careful. That's why when you
Whoa.
kept saying the term, I
Save
kept looking
this
at you.
by the bell.
Because that's a very, and the LGBTQ community, they're very,
Yeah.
very hardcore.
If we want to make it to episode 109,
Yeah,
think
I
we
would.
should.
The fluidity thing, it was said in one podcast, everyone understood the context, but I think I would leave it there.
Yeah.
Unless you really want to
Okay, so
revisit.
now I get it now.
Yeah, what fluidity really is. And it's Pride Month, so we
yeah.
want to.
Yeah.
Through the window by the fire.
Stop. We can't even do the motion no more.
Yeah,
You was saying that during
Yeah,
that?
it was the motion and the word, yeah.
You.
You did it too. We all did it.
I never said the word.
Yeah.
I just ran with the.
I mean, all for one and one for all, though.
I got your back.
One band.
Unless you want to have a LGBTQ.
Nah, we not.
Right, exactly.
No, I'm saying we not.
Yeah, that's another
Call
conversation.
episode
Yeah, absolutely. Respectfully, that's
You
another.
had to fix that one. You're like,
Yeah.
no, we not. We
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
I,
That's why I
get,
said-
I get what you're saying and how you meant it, but
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. It was used in a joking context,
Nah, all right, but I appreciate that.
I'll
You
do away
saved
with
us
that
too
word.
again.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Damn, you're great.
That's why you gotta go see the lady.
That's why I gotta go see
Where
the
can the
lady.
people find the lady?
The lady is on Instagram, Shaniqua Thee Therapist with 2 E's. And I'm also on TikTok, Millennial Therapist. I'll be doing my little dancing thing on TikTok too. Same name, Shaniqua Thee Therapist with 2 E's.
Yeah, you could dance. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh, you be on your Took 'em a talk or shit?
Yeah, I be
No,
on
it's-
TikTok.
Okay, robot.
That's not the robot, that's the little never mind.
Oh, the,
See, y'all been killing me already.
This nigga said the
The
robot.
robot.
Oh, she was doing my neck, my back.
Yeah, like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nigga said the robot.
The robot.
What robot do?
It looked like the robot from here. Okay. Shit.
Listen. Oh my god.
Sue me.
Well, y'all, this was episode 108. I want to thank Shaniqua the Therapist,
Of course, of course.
Slaughter, give us some insight on the other side.
Get y'all a therapist. Work on yourselves.
For real.
Find peace.
I don't want to.
Find peace.
Find
I'll
peace.
stay like this forever.
Growth, self-regulation.
Are y'all not allowed to date the people that y'all?
Absolutely not in no way, shape, or form ever.
I be seeing movies where
Yeah,
go
and
see
they-
the therapist.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Then they
Yeah.
start.
And I'm sure they lost their license.
Movies.
Yes, movies.
Based on a true story. Based on true.
So
Movies.
they don't be
Movies.
true.
I mean, it's
Movies.
happened. I'm pretty sure it's
Exactly,
happened, of
it's
course.
happened.
That's why
Talking about porn. Look at the fuck out of here.
All right.
Well, y'all just tuned to episode 108.
Oh my god.
Nigga rub his hand. Yo, get the fuck out of here, yo.
All right, that's B-Lo. That's Shaniqua, our lovely guest. Jigga, Blanco. Y'all know what's up.
man.
We can't be stopped from blowing Swiss and sweets out of candy drops like we underground king, ride dirty. A nigga been focused since I said hi to 30. Young niggas, y'all can't hurt me. Better watch and observe me and learn how to earn better.